if you've been enjoying this content, hit that follow button if you're new here. If you're just stopping by, hit that follow button. This has gotten super fucking intense. Hit that follow button, make sure notifications are on so you know I'm going live. Because I do this all the time. Don't want you to miss out on all this content. This is really good. This is why I say Abe is like the fucking best, right? People don't realize this doesn't get the views that Reverie does, but like Abe, we go wild here. All black everything, right? So this is how we do things. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Ori Plus, for gifting us up. Hey, help us out. We're close to a hype train. Subs to the channel, give bits or give subs to support the channel that way. If you like this content, like what we're doing here, like all the things we get up to, all the conversations we have, the fact that you can be a part of this too, right? You can be a part of closed panels, you can be a part of open panels. If you like that, then sub to this channel, give bits or give subs, support what we're trying to do, support what we're trying to build. Okay, thank you so much. Hit us up on our social media. We have Twitter, where we let you know what's going on. Discord, where everything happens, including this conversation happening on Discord, and our open walk-on panel will happen on Discord. TikTok, where we post funny videos, funny clips from this place, and then YouTube is where we find the VODs. If you missed stuff, if you're missing a lot, right, you gotta come hit up Abe. Then like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and hit that join button, becoming a YouTube member. Support us that way as well. Wolf Glenn, thank you for giving that sub to Zelix Leo. We are at 50% of level 1 hype train, 50% left. Can we get to a level 2 hype train? Subs to the channel, only $5, right? Resubs help as well. Push that hype train along. Or gift bits or gift subs. Use your Amazon Prime Prime Gaming here on this channel. You get one free sub per month. Use that here. It supports us so much. All right, thank you. We are going to move on to our next topic, and hopefully our man Bam will be able to rejoin us soon. He's having a bit of an issue, so hopefully he'll be back with us. Okay, next topic, which was not supposed to be related to the first topic. It is now. A woman on TikTok posted a video in which she said she would always be single because in a relationship she had no interest in doing anything. By that she means that as a woman, the expectations placed on her are immense when it comes to taking care of men. It's simply expected that she take on a huge amount of domestic labor. Some people replied by stating that the man is paying your bills, so it's fine. Do you think that this is a reasonable response? Is marriage a favorable deal for women? Or does it lead to men being infantilized by institutions since women are simply expected to take care of them? So, yeah. I think this actually does sort of relate to the last thing we were talking about, but in its own right, I think this is super interesting because I've had a conversation with an individual who used to come around here a lot. She would say that she wouldn't get married, right? An individual who used to be on this channel a bunch. She would say she is not interested in getting married for this reason, for women having to take care of men, right? That like the institutional pressures tend to be that even if these people are more liberal and want to be like more equal, simply put, the societal pressures are on her to do more, to take care of her, and then like, and that men end up being basically the wives end up mothering the men. So I'm really curious what you all have to say about this, right? So we're gonna start with Sly.
Okay. Sorry. So in relation to this like the specific woman who mentioned this, I think that because it's a little hard now because now I'm thinking about like dreams sort of like world and moral world, because this lady would thrive in that world basically, or like she'd like that expectation would really allow for her to sort of like exist, because or potentially have that sort of mindset exist in other women. But I think that when we have situations where women believe things like this, I think that it's part of the expectations that we have set. So for me and my stance, I think that the thinking is wrong. The whole thing around it and how she's thinking about this is wrong. But I think this is just a a result of the type of, I guess, power we've sort of like given over as men in some ways.
So thank you, Wolf Glenn, for gifting 5 subs. Thank you, Top Dolphin, for 9 months resubbing. With Stream Baby has been delivered. Thank you. It's pretty fucking hideous. Thank you, Top Dolphin, for the resub. But yeah, we're at, because of Wolf Glenn and the others, we are at level 2 hype train, 38% done. 62% left. Can we get to a level 3 hype train, guys? Subs to the channel, gift bits, or gift stuff. Support us. If you like what we're doing, we're always doing this. Subs to the channel, only $5. Gift bits or gift subs. Thank you. 4 minutes on the clock. Can we get to a level 3 hype train? We'll go to my man Hatim. My very controversial man, Hatim. All right. In fact, I'm not even gonna claim him. This is all you, Jade. Right? You take him. So Hatim, please.
I think this specific woman is just bitter and salty, bro. If you saw the way she was talking, think about it. And it wasn't like she doesn't want to get married. She says she wants to get married. It's just that her experience with the men that she's been with made her relationship experience really like regretful. And so she's talking about men that don't do anything, don't clean up. Why are you with those men? Are these the men that you can pick up? These are the pick of the litter that you got? I think if you're a desirable woman, you can get a desirable man, right? And if you can't get the man that you don't, if you can't get the man that you desire, I think that says more about yourself. Like if it's impossible for you to get the man you desire, like I got the woman I desire, and that's point blank period.
Nice save.
And she got the man she wants, and that's point blank.
Save.
Feel me?
I want to hear her say that.
That's perfect. Dude's trying to make up for. Okay. Anyway,
what I'm trying to say is that I do think she wants to get married. It's just that she wants a man that just is an adult, and I think there's plenty of men that are like that. And on the other end, if he's paying all the bills and you're doing nothing at home, you should probably do something at home. Like if he's being a breadwinner, that's okay. Just like if she was being a breadwinner and he was a stay-at-home dad, that's okay too. He should pick up the stuff around the house. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And she thinks, are we both? You know what I'm saying? Like it just depends on the situation. I think her mind is just screwed up because of her relationship experience, which I understand.
God. Okay, so here's what. No, we're going to go to Jade. We're going to go to Jade last. I want to hear her opinion last on this, though. But we're definitely going to hear. I'm really curious what you have to say.
You making the black woman go to the back of the bus?
Absolutely, that's how I run things here, right?
Right before June.
Live on All Black Everything too. Jesus.
Men give their opinion first. Women wait. Right? Like it's only like.
Jesus.
No. I'm not actually really curious. I'm saving the best for last here. So we are level 2 hype train, 75% down because of B Dander and who's the other one who gifted? Prudence. Thank you for giving some bits. We're at 75% level 2 hype train. Never mind. We are at 100% because Madeline comes in with a hot tier 2 resub. Hey, for 16 months. Thank you. Madeline, this would have been a great topic for you, actually. We're talking about marriage and whether marriage is a good deal for women. If you still want to come on, Madeline, we'll let you in. He's black, so if you don't know. But yeah, and we're at level 3 hype train.
Okay.
He's black, right? Level 3 hype train, 10% down, 100% left, 4 minutes left on the clock. Can we get to level 4 hype train? Guys, now's the time. Help us out. If you're pushing this content, jump on in. So yeah, sub to channel, give bits or give subs. Move it along. We're just at the very beginning of the hype train. Plenty of room for growth. 4 minutes on the clock. Okay, let's go to DeAndre.
Well, I happen to agree with Dream on a lot of this one here. To me, it seems like she wants to be in a relationship and wants to be pampered. And the same way I said last time I was on, the way I view relationships of any kind is a business transaction. If you don't have anything to offer, you should get out. And so that's just what it boils down with to me. If you're going to be in a relationship of any kind, you need to bring something to the table other than just yourself. If you don't have anything of value to add to a relationship, to add to my life, to add to if you're not going to be adding anything to the house domestically, if you're not add something financially, if you're not going to add anything financially, add something domestically. You have to have some value other than just I'm here and you should cherish me for the sake of my existence. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense.
Okay. Great. So we will go to the next individual. Top Dolphin, love to hear what you have to say. Please.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with her, but not. I think she has like a very jaded view of men and the way that she just like prescribes them as a whole. I think it's pretty. Well, yeah. I don't know this woman specifically. I don't know like what she does or anything like that. But from what she said, it kind of sounds like she's probably like a working woman, and she wants like a working man who like is also able to like take care of himself. She doesn't want to be your stereotypical like housewife, right? Which is understandable. But I think it's a little bit I think she's a little bit jaded by the fact that like she assumes that like all men out here like can't take care of themselves, can't schedule their own doctor's appointment, and they're only looking for a wife to do all these things for them without contributing anything back. Maybe it's just the men she like hangs with or whatever. Maybe it's like that's just like a notion she has based on society. But like there's plenty of, I know plenty of men who can like schedule their own appointments and like cook their own food, and a lot of men who like to cook. To be fair, I also know a lot of useless men who like can barely like get out of bed in the morning and like wash their own ass. And then in that case, like maybe those are the people she's running into. So yeah, I think it's pretty fair. Like a relationship is usually like a shared thing where both people get things out of it and both people put things into it, and both people should be okay with what each person puts into out of it. And I think that like maybe she like phrased this in like a kind of hyperbolic way. Oh, I'm never getting married forever. But like in reality, she's just like looking for a partner who like gives her the things she wants. And maybe that can be a little bit hard to find where she's looking. But I mean, I believe she's fine. I don't know.
Let's go to, thank you so much. And then we'll go to Smooth. Guys, how about the hype train? Less than a minute left. Can we get to a level 4 hype train? Sub to the channel, get bits or get subs. Every little bit helps out. It all adds up. Resubs or continue your sub and all that good stuff. We have less than a minute left. Can we get to a level 3 hype train or just move the hype train along? Support this community if you're liking what we're doing, and we do it all the time. We consistently give you this content. So if you're sitting out there like this is pretty great and you want ad-free viewing and all that good stuff, right? Then sub to the channel, get bits, or sub to the channel for that. All right, thank you. Let's go to Smooth.
So, first of all, I want to congratulate DLC Pack 1 and 2 for joining us. Even though DLC Pack 1 keeps uninstalling, I'm very happy for him to be able to rejoin us right now. But to answer the topic at hand, though, I'm really, really, really thinking like she just doesn't know how to pick men at all. That's my thing off rip. And then 2, marriage has never even historically been disadvantageous to women. Like they always come out on top from marriage. Like when a woman chooses to leave, she's leaving out on top. For most of the time, she's moving out with alimony. She's definitely gonna get the child support. She's probably gonna get majority custody of the kids. I'm just speaking reality. This is what happens. To answer that part of the question, so I just think she dates terrible men, and she needs to start thinking instead of just reacting with her feelings of whatever she feels about this guy and how he made her feel when he talked to her. Okay. She needs to actually think about her dating choices.
Oh my God, this is gonna be explosive. Okay. I'm sorry, we're gonna go over. I know. I'm telling you right now, guys. Like I'm gonna warn you, we're gonna go over time here. All right, we're gonna go over time. So I hope you don't have anything better to be doing. We're about to go over time on this thing. All right, let's go to Bam. We can't hear you. You're muted in Discord.
What a beautiful voice he has.
All right, can I just get on this?
I got it. I love that Georgian accent. I was getting to it. Yeah. Another thing, like I think that Yeah, I think that like socially we hear this thing often now that like, oh, marriage only benefits men. Does it seem to be true in some areas? Like I think men who are married live on average longer. So I'm not gonna and I'm not married obviously, but I'm in a like healthy long-term relationship. So there's a lot of benefits from having someone to be considered your partner for men. But historically, and I think even today, there does seem to be a lot of benefits, depending on like if you're thinking about the general dynamic for being the traditional dynamic for being married for women. And I think that like everyone's allowed to want what they want from a relationship, but in reality, like you're gonna limit your options based on what you're willing to personally bring to the table. But everybody can like what they like.
Okay. So we'll go to our friend Madeline, who is so kind to join us. Really excited. We haven't had Madeline here forever, so I'm actually really pumped. Madeline happened to be a married person, right? I'm not sure. Is anyone here actually married other than Madeline? Is anyone here actually? Not yet. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so Madeline's the only one.
I'm married to League of Legends.
I noticed that. How are you doing?
I'm married to the game, baby. Right? I'm out here on these streets.
I'm on the grind.
I am on the gaming.
Girl gets mad when I speak with League of Legends.
Right. But okay, so we brought in Madeline. I sent them the link to us what we're discussing, right? So Madeline, in terms of the prompt is talking about so responding to that woman who said she didn't want to get married because she wasn't going to do anything, right? People said to this woman, well, it's okay because the man's going to be paying your bills, meaning she's going to be coming out ahead, so it's fine, right?
Fuck that.
Do you think that there's a reasonable response? Is marriage a favorable deal for women?
No.
Or does it lead to men being infantilized by the institution, since women are simply expected to take care of them by like domestic labor and all that stuff? So Madeline,
like this idea of like being a person who gets all their bills paid for, but they have to spend all day doing household chores fucking sucks. Like I would like that lifestyle sounds terrible. Like I would be bored out of my goddamn mind. I wouldn't enjoy it. And like I'm someone who genuinely likes cooking. I'm pretty shit at cleaning, honestly. A few other things. Just like I don't know. Like on the domestic front, I'm like not the greatest. But like the thought of someone who is spirited and independent and like has their own shit going on, being like, you know, at least all my bills are paid for. I'm fine being like, you know, a domestic slave is like kind of shitty. Like honestly, like it sounds terrible. She has every reason to resent anyone who's trying to like force her into that sort of situation. Now, if she has like a woke and aware significant other, there's like a shot that, you know, she'll have a happily ever after. But like, I consider myself pretty woke. I consider myself pretty aware of like the power dynamics that play when I'm interacting with someone, and I still fucking suck, and I still get sucked into like the normal, regular. This is how things are traditionally, and this is just how that's going to work. And like, it wasn't intentional, right? Like it happened just circumstantially. Like for example, wifey gave birth to firstborn, right? And who's going to be at home taking care of baby? Who's nursing baby? Who's got more time around the house? Well, wifey, I'm going to be working, right? So like that dynamic just naturally kind of occurred, but it's not great for someone who likes to go out and do things and wants like some measure of independence. So like I ended up on my end having to try really, really hard. And like, it's a continuous try. It's not something that just naturally occurs. Like I'm still trying even as we are talking right now. To be better at making sure that my significant other isn't like tied down doing domestic shit all day. It sucks. It's actually terrible. And I'm not actually that great at it. Like even as I'm like putting all this effort and I'm like considering like, does my words and actions like line up? Like kinda, but not really. Like I could do better for sure. 1000%.
So last but most important, really, I want to hear from our friend Jade. Jade, what are your thoughts?
I think marriage is favorable for women. I think someone in her situation, she could just find someone who agrees with the things she likes if she's getting her bills paid for Maybe she can even ask if they could hire a maid or something, or if she did do the chores at home. No one's saying that she can't have, things she likes to do, a hobby, or maybe even make, work from home or anything like that while she's at home. No one's saying she has to do all the chores and that's it. I think she could just be saying this because it's a trend. Like when women get dumped or something bad happens from them, for men, they say the men ain't shit, trend. And then they'll mean that for some time until they find somebody that they're like, oh, okay, maybe all men ain't shit. Just the ones that I was with were shit, So I think that she could just be saying this, not truly mean it. And I think she should find someone that can kind of agree with the terms that she's giving. And yeah, that's how I feel.
I mean, if you're immediately dismissing her thoughts on this, what are the chances that some dude that she's about to date is going to take her seriously? You're immediately saying, whatever she's saying wasn't real, right?
It just sit sounded hurt. That was some hurt feelings coming out.
I don't think that's fair to her. We're not giving her any chances at all.
I think
you don't even have to be fair.
I think if you show that your mind has been changed in your dates with people, then nobody's going to care about the video you posted a few weeks back, right? So if that's her current worldview, I think guys should avoid her, right? If you're a reasonable, if you're that unreasonable as a person, then hold on. Her video said that she's lazy. Not even
doing nothing.
Just lazy as a person.
Yes, nothing.
Do you want a wife that does nothing?
No. Is that what you? I think that's a bad thing.
You guys are reading into part of it without the whole thing. Because she said she comes home from a long day, right? So the implication here is that she's out all day working. She's on her grind doing her hustle, whatever. She comes home. She's lazy in that she's tired and she doesn't want to cook, clean, or whatever. She's not you guys are reading on one side of the implication, but not on the other side. Where she's like, oh yeah, I had a very long day, and I don't want that's because I had a long day and you had a long day that I have to be the one to cook, clean, and whatever, right? We gotta be fair when we.
I mean,
she's an adult, but
we have long work days. My day, I start my day off at 5:00 in the morning. By the time I get off of work at 3:00, I start doing all of my shows. Yeah, I still because my partner, she goes to work at when I get off, doesn't get home until 12. So even while I'm still doing all these recordings, setting up all of my meetings, I have to take the time to take my dog out, cook, clean, and make sure everything is up to par. And in the daytime when I'm working, she's taking care of the cleaning and stuff like that. Doesn't take the dog out or the trash out. I do all of that stuff. It's just because you go out and you're tired doesn't mean that you don't get to do part of your chores when you get home.
That's not what she's saying either.
Yeah,
right.
Let's get to Jay. Jay was wanting to say something, but don't worry, we're gonna jump into this.
I guess when I gave my statement, I was assuming that she wasn't working. I haven't seen the video, so I could be confused. But if they're both working, I would say, depending on how laborious the jobs are, I don't see why it couldn't be split between the two people. I don't think she should have to take on every single thing. But I don't know whose job may be more labor intensive, maybe more longer hours, and then you would have conversations from there. But I don't see why they couldn't split depending on those things.
But she said nothing.
Her team. No, you got to show her the video. You got to show her so she can participate. Jade, the video.
The video is very important in this case.
It's very important. You see the video
because the context of
reach out to those people calling this lady trash. All right, I think I was gonna say it really depends on who this woman is, right? Because she can there are a lot of trash women out there, right, who don't work, don't have a job, don't have any hobbies, they kind of sit around and do nothing, and then they want to get married and not cook, clean, do anything like that. And it's all right, why you think you just kind of exist and I have sex with you sometimes and we hang out sometimes and that's worth being in a relationship with? No, you got to bring something to the table. You got to help out.
Dudes who do the thing, and then they get married, and then they get babied their whole fucking lives, and then they show up to their job that they're not very successful at. They just show up to be there and collect their check or whatever. And I mean, the thing is, this cuts both ways.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
To have a relationship that's successful,
barely do a job and expect women to do the same thing. It's so stupid.
But the thing is about it cutting both ways. This is the key component here is, culturally speaking, a lot of the burden ends up being on the woman in the situation, right? Because the normalized culture that we have is women are doing things around the household. And a lot of it, and again, sometimes it comes up as a result of biology. Hey, baby at home, I can't work, so I'm going to do this stuff. But like at the end of the day, society is leaning us in this general direction, and it's definitely not fair to someone who like she knows what she wants. She literally knows, like, yo, I don't want to have to take after someone. This all sounds bogus as fuck. Like, why are we bullying her for just not wanting to spend the rest of her life with someone who's going to make her do shit that she doesn't want to do? But sounds ridiculous to me.
That's not the issue. The issue is that she's complaining about men as like if it's all of men. Wow, it could be the men that's available to her that's even willing to take her serious.
All right, so like not all men are pieces of shit.
Which means,
that's great.
Which means that there could have been men that was available or like in her vicinity. That is what she wants.
Well, now you're just kind of pretending that that's what's going on.
They don't want her, and so we have to ask the question: Isn't this not possible? Isn't it possible that she's just not a desirable candidate for the man that she wants?
I don't know why we have to.
We
don't actually have to ask that question. That's actually
wait, Madeline. Wait,
this is not actually an important question to ask.
Just let me ask you, where y'all go back and forth. Like there's.
Why don't we just put the back and forth and then you go?
But because you've already done it.
Like I do everything. No, give me one. Give me one.
So actually, so what's actually happening is like this is the internet, and people are allowed to vent their frustrations on the internet.
Oh, what a shame that the internet doesn't want him to go. All right, my turn. So,
we can't hear you, Bam. You're breaking up.
Yeah, Bam. Hold on, Bam. What? You're in you are in the U.S. Let me switch the switch the server to U.S. South. Hopefully that'll be helpful. Okay, all right. So we'll go from there. Hopefully that helps. He's frozen. So we'll
cool.
Get back.
Okay, so moving on, just real quick, just back and forth. I just want to get into this thing. Why do we actually have to judge her and question whether she is someone who is worthy of marriage or not when she's literally listing out her expectations? These are the things that she wants. These are the things she doesn't want. And maybe she's being a little bit too broad in saying all men suck. I get that. That's fine. But overall, we don't need to bully her about her preferences, right?
Well, it's not about bullying her. I mean, the entire point of getting into a relationship is weighing the expectations that you both share and seeing if it's a match. And obviously, her expectations are not reasonable to the men that she's trying to go after.
Or not go after, as demonstrated by the video.
I'm just saying, isn't that the man she wants, right? These people, like the man she wants, right? Like the perfect man in her image. It could be possible that she is not eligible for these men. Is that not possible?
You're making such a big leap there. Like,
my leap is that she definitely isn't. That would be a leap. I'm saying, is it not possible that
honestly, there's a person for everyone.
Like,
right?
why make that assumption?
There are useless people. There are useless people who find themselves married to people who are incredibly useful. Like, that's not like unheard of. But the thing is, we can't speculate on how useless or useful this person is.
That's not the argument here.
Her problem is she does not date the correct men. Clearly, from her video for what she wants, right? When she sits down with men and she goes, "Hey, this is my list of expectations" or whatever, right? She doesn't actually, or maybe she doesn't even do that part. Maybe she's not even listing out her expectations. She's just getting into things, going through the motion and thinking like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then she realizes, oh, this man is immature and not an adult and does not take care of themselves. Therefore, if I marry this man, I'm going to have to take care of him.
Is her lack of desire in getting married
blatantly, isn't this true for literally every person who's single, who's been in a relationship before?
She didn't want to be married. She said she wants to be with an adult. So that clearly
she wants to be with a man who
dates immature men.
I mean, yeah, this is the case for literally every it's for literally every single person who's ever been single. And like you date around, right? And
but we aren't talking about every single person. We're talking about her.
Their standards, right?
Yes, just her.
So we don't have to make assumptions that like, oh, she's like she doesn't.
It's on assumptions. These are her own words.
Everyone who has ever met somebody and has been single theoretically has met somebody who doesn't meet their expectation. I mean, maybe they just didn't meet the other person's expectation, but it doesn't seem like that in this case, right? So like,
We need
It does seem like that in this case. It doesn't sound like
She's
this
probably
case.
out of the relationship or had some bad dating shit, and she's like venting about stuff.
Complaining about my dating life.
At her big age, she hasn't met not one man to fit her expectation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, happened. That's literally everybody who is like. How old is she? Like 30 something? Is it everybody who's 30 is single?
I didn't bring up her age.
That is true.
Dude, Dream, we don't know what her age is. Do you know what her age is?
We know she's above 27.
Wait, Dream, I have a question for you. Before you met your long-term partner, had you met somebody who met your expectations before? Like,
yes, I met people who met my expectations, and I was the one in the wrong, and I wasn't ready for that. And, you know, I've been rejected. And then I had to grow as a person. And then I met multiple people that met my expectations. And then things happened. And I chose one. And I've been with her for almost 3 years now. If you are the right person for the person that the type of person that you want, you will have that selection brought upon you. You attract.
When you find somebody, but before you find somebody, it doesn't happen.
But I'm saying, if I'm 35 and I haven't not met one woman to meet my expectation, it's something wrong with either me.
No, okay. First of all, I got it. I'm jumping.
Or I'm looking on my.
Maybe she spent like
35.
time in college and her career.
Stop talking. Thank you. Right. I'm jumping in. I'm pushing back on all fronts. On all fronts here, right? First of all, what you're doing now is saying like this, like blaming women who are older, shaming women who are older.
It's
for
meant
not
to.
finding someone. Yeah. But this is the thing that we do for women, right? This is the thing that happens.
This isn't something that we do about women. This is just about her.
Shamed for this isn't just about her. No.
Yes, it is. This entire thing is about her.
I'm telling you the topic. The topic isn't just about her. So I'm telling you what the topic is. It's not just about her. Right, so
it extends
where we are. Like there's this idea of shaming. Oh, you're 35. Something must be wrong with you. You haven't found someone already, right? This is what women hear all the time. They are older and they have not been married. When they aren't attached, right? Must be something wrong with you. Okay, but like, then you go on. Well, okay. Well, it must be like the type of man, right? The type of man and his mindset. You got to find a certain man with his mindset. That will do all that work. But here's the thing. Overall, men do less work within a marriage. Period. It doesn't matter if they're left or right. I got some evidence here, right? Not all the evidence I want. So I looked online, right? And I found a paper. Now all I have is the abstract because it's behind the paywall, so I apologize. I don't have the full thing, right? But here's the abstract. So sorry, I'm getting background noise from somebody. Madeline.
Background is maybe Madeline.
Yeah. Okay. The abstract says the literature suggests that gender ideology, how a person identifies herself or himself in terms of marital or family traditional linked to gender, is related to the division of labor in the home. Basically, what you guys been saying. In this article, I assert that it's not sufficient. Oh my God, Madeline, please, Madeline. In this article, I assert that it's not sufficient to merely examine the main effects of wives' and husbands' gender ideologies. Rather, it's essential to consider the interaction between the ideologies of wives and the husbands in order to understand how a division of household labor emerges. I hypothesize the husband's gender ideology will not be related to the division of household labor for men married to traditional wives, but that it will be for men with egalitarian wives. An empirical test using data provided by 2,719 married couples from the National Survey of Families and Households confirms this hypothesis. Even after controlling for measures of market and marital-specific capital, wives and husbands' gender ideologies interact in terms of their effects on the division of husband labor. Husbands do oh my God! Whoa! Oh my God! I'm gonna just mute you, buddy. I gotta mute you. What the fuck is happening? Husbands do relatively little domestic labor unless both of them and their wives are relatively egalitarian in their beliefs about gender and marital roles. Like there is an expectation, a societal expectation that that women take care of this labor. There is a pressure on them that women do these things, and that simply is not on men. It simply does not exist. And as they get older, as men get older, they just take on less work. Like women take on more. So they can start off one way, But as they get older, the women simply do more, and she's simply stating this fact.
Wait,
But
so
you know that the
that
data
doesn't
Okay,
count for
okay,
everything, right?
okay,
like
okay.
no one disagrees with you that like in a very traditional marriage, like women probably do more of the household labor than men, right?
Well, that's because the data
a
breaks
lot of
down
times
differently than
the guy, like in a lot of traditional relationships, right? Like my parents were like this for some of the time. Like the guy is at work, right? Like working 8 to 10 or maybe longer hours a day, right? And like when he comes home, he expects like certain things to be done. Like this is like the traditional like relationship arrangement, and I don't think it's necessarily unfair, right? Like like I don't like there's give and take in every relationship. The most important thing is that both people who enter that agreement are like okay with it. But I wouldn't say that it's like fundamentally women do more work in a relationship just because they do more chores at home.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But they-
Absolutely agree
no,
with
not
you
even
because
just
the data
chores.
shows that the reason why this happens is because the person who spends the majority of the time at home is the one that does the majority of household labor. When you look at at women's work compared to men's work, women work more part-time jobs than men do. Therefore, women spend more time at home on average than men do. So they incur more of the household duties than men do because they are at home more. When you take a look at outside labor duties at the house, it's overwhelmingly men that takes care of outside labor duties, especially in southern areas, because of farmland and all of that gardening and stuff. Which a lot of people say, "Oh, gardening is a woman's job." Oh, no, when you go to farmland, there's mostly a lot of hard labor with the plows and stuff for men. Typically, they usually, if they're lucky, they'll have their sons out there helping them with it, but it really depends on who's at home more. Now you also compare that with homosexual couples and you see the trend is the exact same. The one who spends the majority of their time at home, who is not working or is working less hours than the other one, incurs the majority of the domestic labor.
And
That's just the fact.
even in a traditional marriage, right? Let's say that the woman is doing like more of the household chores, like washing dishes, cleaning, laundry, stuff like that. The man is also doing the household chores when it comes to like physical labor, carrying heavy stuff, moving, landscaping, putting the furniture up, or like paintings and
Killing
stuff,
those
like
damn spiders.
electricity, anything like that you need power tools for. The man is gonna do, or building a fence, stuff like that. That's also chores at the house. And so in a traditional marriage where a man is mostly working and then coming at home, and then a woman is mostly at home, I don't think if it's a consensual relationship, I don't understand how it's unfair for the woman to do those things, because a man is also picking up slack in other areas. They don't have to be doing the same thing in all categories giving the same amount of effort in all categories in the same amount of time in all categories. They could complement each other, right? You do this thing, I'm gonna do this other thing. I do this thing, you do something.
But
So
her issue,
be
but,
trade-off.
but in her issue, she's contributing, but she's not getting that back. She's also having to take care of the man as well, and so that's why you end up with the video we see.
She doesn't want to do anything at home.
So
That's her conclusion after her experience.
The thing,
Right, and
I'm pretty sure she didn't say she wanted to do anything. She just wanted like equal amounts of work to be done at home.
Exactly.
but
That's not
the
how
thing is,
That's
Which is
not
like a
unreasonable.
fine standard to have.
That's not an unreasonable request at all. I just think her approach and her mentality about the situation is just going to decrease her chances of that happening to her.
Why would it decrease? She's basically saying that she wants an equal. Okay.
Let
because
me tell you why.
look, she has not fully defined what she wants in a man. Like, if she defines it
3-minute
clearly,
video.
In the 3-minute video, she does.
No, what I mean by that is not the 3-minute video. Lip service is fine. I'm talking about what you actually do is different. She has not done that because she keeps getting the same result. This is a result of bubbling frustration. That means she has tried and tried and tried again and continuously failed, which means she continuously went after the same type of guy. She would have to take the time to self-reflect and go, why am I getting this result? If I do something 10 times and I don't get the right result,
you're making so many assumptions.
How would you know? Like, there's literally no way you can know that a man can't clean. Like, how do you check for that on the first date?
Do you
as
clean?
a woman?
Do you clean?
like I do, but like
That's the question you ask. Do you clean?
no. Okay.
And if she's being deceived, she's being deceived.
The thing is,
Okay, but
Get this level
people
of
lie.
I'm saying if she's being deceived, she's being deceived then.
Yeah, but that's not her fault. That's what I'm saying.
agree.
You're putting the blame on her and the choices of
I
men
literally-
that she's giving.
I'm not putting blame on her. I'm saying that it's possible that this is the case, and it's also possible she's being deceived, right?
But you're saying it's more likely the
It's
choices
possible that
her
she lives in a
dating pool,
highly
the men that
conservative
she's
area
dating.
where all the men are garbage, right? And
believe
all
that
the
it-
men are like, I don't care if you work, like you still gotta do all the house chores because that's a woman's job. Because there are places in the country where that's the truth,
It's
right?
not-
I do believe it's very unlikely for a 30-plus-year-old woman to have never met the right guy for her.
Wow!
I do-
Oh my God! This is
You're making so
this
many
is terrible.
assumptions.
This is disgusting. to me.
You said 30 plus. Do you know her age?
Hey,
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know how old she is.
Okay, how old is she then?
I
Like,
don't
We
know.
don't know. You made
no,
the assumption.
no.
You
would
were
have to,
five
bro,
earlier.
Look, we
let's
wouldn't have to
not
do that
pretend like we
research. I
can't
don't
tell
know.
the approximate age of a person by
We
how.
cannot.
You
We
really
cannot.
can't. Maybe
Especially
we
based
just
off
talk
of
about
this
that.
conversation we had. We can't. We
No,
can't.
but
We
we can
just had the last
listen.
conversation about that.
We can guess, okay? And we won't be 100% correct, but we can at least be in the ballpark, okay?
Okay.
You guys
okay.
are absolutely out of your mind if you think.
No,
Yeah,
we can't.
yeah. Okay.
No,
okay.
we can't.
I don't want to
You
get
should
hung up
guess
there.
and be in the ballpark, and then use that to figure out like which women you put your penis in, right?
Point is,
Like,
she looks
you-
old enough to have
I'm
met
sure
the
you won't
right
run into a problem there. Okay. Look. We gotta. Oh my God.
So listen. As DLC Pack 2 reloads all the way, right? So listen. This is very important and crucial. Okay, very important and crucial. Okay, she has to take personal account for her frustration that she has. You cannot tell me if I date a bunch of, let's say, my gripe, and I make a 3-minute long video about gold diggers, right? Oh my God, all these women, all they want me for is my money. And I make that video and I put that out there because I've continuously had that problem. I have to self-assess as a man, what type of woman am I dating to where I'm constantly running into gold diggers? I can't put the blame on women for being gold diggers. I have to not date gold diggers. That's how that works.
So
Right. So I would agree with you, right? But like generally, that's like so you can find out whether or not a woman's a gold digger usually pretty early in a relationship, right? To find out what a man is like once you've moved in with him and like been around the house with them usually takes a decent amount of investment, right? Let's say that
it
this
doesn't.
woman is like 27.
Yes,
Right?
my
Yeah,
God.
it
And
absolutely
you
does.
find that out.
And-
You
and-
find
Absolutely
out
does.
Unless you
on
literally
night
walk
one.
in and you're like, "Oh my God, do you cook? Do you clean? Do you on the first date?" And then they give you all the answers, and you're like, and like you take them all at face value, but you don't truly know what it's like to live with someone till you've actually lived with them.
Till
So
you
let's say
live
this
with them,
woman's like
yes.
27, right? I think that's a fair age. Maybe she's in her 30s, maybe she's younger, but let's say this woman's like 27, and let's say she was in college until she was like, I think the average age for graduation is actually 5 years, not 4. So she got out of college at like 22, 23. She like worked on her career for a bit. Then she found 1 or 2 men and were in like kind of long-term relationships. You guys are acting like she's been in like 20 relationships and every man is like ruining her life. But like you're making like really big assumptions that aren't necessarily true.
But that's
And it doesn't. But it doesn't take.
She just said
that's-
all like men. She generalized, but she didn't say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I've been with this many men and this is what happened."
We're not saying
And
that
I'm
she's
this
doing
old.
it.
And in
right?
some
Saying
cases,
that
it
her own
shouldn't.
words of shit that the men that she has been with have not met her expectation. So obviously, she is picking the wrong men.
All right,
But that's the issue. When you say that,
maybe
that's an
she's
issue.
picked the wrong men 2 times, and maybe she's picked the wrong men 15 times. And these 2 people, like one person, it's like, oh,
Smooth,
maybe you
we
just
can't
haven't
hear
found the
you.
right person yet. And maybe this the second person, right? The person who's picked 2 times wrong is like, oh, maybe you just need to keep looking for the right person. Keep like be a little bit.
Can you guys hear me
And the
clearly
person
right
who's
now, by
picked
the way?
wrong
Is this loud? Okay.
15 times.
Yeah, you're better,
right?
man.
Okay, yeah. The person who's picked 15 times wrong, you'd be like, okay, now maybe you need to like really evaluate what you're doing because like that's a little bit ridiculous, you know?
I just like
But-
how
yeah,
we're
but
But
making
you guys are
assumptions
making
about
you're
her
making
dating
huge
life.
assumptions
time.
about her dating life without like she didn't
Wow.
say anything.
We're also
You're making
apparently
assumptions about
her
her
making
age when she
assumptions
didn't say
about all
anything.
men.
She
Yeah,
posted it
exactly.
online what her dating life has been about. I mean, her entire rant is on the fact that she has been with undesirable men for her expectation.
Well, yeah, but
She
you're making the
posted that, so she
assumption
has
that
opened
it's
herself up to that criticism. You don't
no,
get to
but
post something
Okay.
like that
you're making
and
the
then not
assumption
accept
that it
criticism.
has to be that she's only selected undesirable men, and not that there's like an
Well,
overwhelming cultural
then why
norm
hasn't
that is
then
a
why
lot of
hasn't
men
she
suck.
selected somebody that has
No,
met to
because
those
like I
to the
actually I
expectations
actually have
she
a
set?
study right here in front of me that says that women who are unmarried and childless are happier than women who are married and are have children. Like there's actually a cultural cost to getting married. Like there actually is. And like the point isn't that you can find that
What's the
magical
source of your
partner.
study?
Hold on. So the point isn't that you'll like magically find a partner that'll make you entirely happy guaranteedly. The point is, and what she's pissed off about, is that there's a cultural norm that has a grave cost to women, and everyone here
What's
is being
the
really
grave cost to
uncharitable
women here?
towards
What is
that
the
view.
cost?
Huh?
What is the grave cost to women here?
Hold on, let's see. Shorter lifespans and what was this
Women
other
don't-
thing?
Women don't have shorter lifespans due to
No,
marriages.
no. Women who are married have a shorter lifespan apparently than women who are unmarried.
No, the science and data has shown
Not
that
mutual
married couples have longer lifespans than
Oh, no, no.
non-married people.
Married men have longer lifespans
married
than
couples in
unmarried
general.
men. No.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you
you're
don't know
trying
where
to
that
combine the
statistic
two,
comes
and that's
from.
fine.
Because
But
it
you
could be
separate
true
it.
that both could be true. It could be true that married couples have longer lifespans than married and married women have shorter lifespans, because it could be that like when a man gets married, the difference in his age, like that decreases off that the amount that
It
the marriage increases his age
increases the
is
data.
more than the amount that it would decrease the age from the woman, right?
Because
Like
you're
both of these
adding
things
the
could be true.
metaset of
It's
the
like
man.
not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the point is that like culturally speaking, the cultural norm is for women to have to suffer a little bit more.
So
And
what
like
are
what
they
we can do to
suffering?
make things better
What
is
are
to
they
make it so that women
suffering though?
don't.
You're saying that women are suffering because they get married by their choice, no less. So what are they suffering
I
from?
mean, so yeah, we can choose to make ourselves suffer. It's true.
But what are they
Congratulations.
suffering from, though? Yeah, give me an example of the
Like
suffering.
being forced to do like she literally lists all the things she complained about. She's
Who
like,
is-
I'm tired of
who is
she
forcing
literally
her to
said,
do
all
these
right,
things?
all right, if you're gonna answer the question, don't cut me off. So
Who's forcing her to do these things? You're saying she's
Yo, okay,
being forced to
if you're
suffer.
asking me the questions, don't cut me off.
Let finish. Madeline, please.
Right. So how is she suffering? She's literally dating people and being with people who can't take care of themselves and are expecting her to be their secretary, their house cleaner, their fucking like
Mother.
whatever else, right? She's literally saying that she will be a plant lady, a cat lady over being in a relationship with someone who
Yeah.
wants to use her for her attributes in a sense that makes her subservient to them. She wants an equal partnership. She wants someone that she can do things with and have fun with. And
like,
that is actually really hard.
It's like,
apparently.
okay, so
So,
and I know this is
does that mean that she chose the wrong or right person?
I know this is an extreme, a more extreme example. I know the stakes aren't quite the same, but it's but we're talking along the same lines. Just because you just because you start dating a person, obviously doesn't mean you understand their mindset completely. You don't understand how they will be, right? You think you know a person.
It just
and
means she
then
hasn't found the right
people
person yet. Like,
fucking-
what do we have to like
But
describe?
people fucking change. Exactly. When we're talking about domestic abuse, right? There are people who have women who have been with men for a long time. They thought like, this person is great. I love this person, and then they start smacking them around. Right? This happens, that you jump in a relationship that you are sure, you ask them beforehand, they're up and down sure, oh, he would never do that. But then he does. And because you just don't know. You don't know.
And
then
you don't
people
actually even
change. So like so to say that like, oh well, I mean that's the whole point of fucking dating in the first place, is to find these things out. Dating, and then you hear couples talk about all the time, marriage changes everything, right? That all that stuff, that anything you were hiding before, that all comes out to the front, right? So yeah, people hide all the goddamn time. So to say that, oh well, she should have just known, right? She should have looked at a man, right? And then like through telepathy have gotten his behavior within a marital context. Like, this is nonsense.
I mean, I want to get into the meta. Can we get into the meta for just a second? Because like the meta here, the problem that like where this miscommunication actually lies is that we're like, as a group, there's like this tendency to be blaming her for her choices in relationship, and she's going off about the fact that it seems that she's finding more people statistically who aren't great options for her. Now, you could say, yeah, she might be doing something wrong, but we actually have studies that demonstrate that overall, men as a whole have a tendency to have a little bit more of a beneficiary relationship when they're married. They have this person in their lives who does the domestic stuff. And like the guy will come home from work, et cetera, et cetera. We describe this idea of like, the guy coming home from work, he's tired from work, he's going to relax and, get some Z's, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, like the overarching problem is that there is a unequal dichotomy of labor. When there's two people who are working, oftentimes it's still the woman who ends up cooking. It's oftentimes still the woman that's doing the cleaning because she's the one who gives a shit.
Why does equal?
It's not even about a negotiation.
So you're assuming that the man doesn't give a shit about his house.
Some men don't.
It doesn't matter about equal. It matters about equitable. What's the equitable thing to do? Right? It's not about being the same 50-50.
It's not about being the same 50-50. I agree.
But
you can have a situation. Yeah.
So I'm talking about if the man is working and really hard at his job, and then the stay-at-home wife. Okay.
Also did hard work all day.
Right, and they're doing hard work all day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm saying, if their job is not really 24/7 unless they have kids.
Okay, which is
and to be
like
fair,
the end game of law marriages.
Her clear complaint was that she did not, in addition to her responsibilities in the relationship, she doesn't want to take on the responsibilities that you would have for yourself. Okay, so that includes you cooking for yourself, you cleaning your own clothes. Those are things that she was referring to.
And if she wants to like take turns, that's fine. Right?
Or even more clearly, she doesn't want to be delegated your own responsibilities that you would have for yourself to her because she is your wife. That is a distinction she was making.
I agree. And her specific scenario, I think if she's a working woman and she finds a man who's equally as working as her and they have like similar laborious jobs, I think it makes sense for them to share responsibilities. And it makes total sense.
Like,
but really,
like when it comes to sharing responsibilities, like sometimes it's negotiated, but a lot of the time it's circumstantial. Like,
exactly.
For me, like my idea of cleanliness is leave a pile of dishes in the sink for a couple of days and then get around to washing it, right? Like it's not great, but it's like, I have a timeline for when I want to clean things. I have a timeline for when I want to do whatever.
The threshold of clean could be different for each person.
For my wife, a single plate in the sink is a fucking problem. So what has been a tendency was for me to put giant pile of plates in the sink and her being like, oh, fuck this, and then cleaning it real quick because she's acclimated to just cleaning dishes right away. And then the end result was her having to do the dishes repeatedly until she said, I'm fucking tired of this shit. Clean up your own fucking dishes. And then I got better at cleaning up the dishes, right? And like in this scenario, like it's possible for the woman in this scenario to advocate for herself and say, fuck this shit. And like this person who made this Instagram seems to be that type of person who wouldn't tolerate this sort of bullshit. But that doesn't mean that a lot of women out there do this thing. And it doesn't mean that a lot of men receiving this feedback would say, oh, my bad, I'm sorry. Like when she's telling me this stuff, I had gotten done commuting, like say 20 hours a fucking week, plus like the 40-hour workday, plus like all the private lessons I was teaching. And I was exhausted and I was resentful, but then I still was like, oh, that's fair. I shouldn't be leaving my dishes for her. All right. A lot of assholes are going to be like, well, no, I work really hard, blah, 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 blah. Not acknowledging the fact that the woman at home who's doing a lot of the cleaning and a lot of the working is also spending all day cleaning, doing these repetitive tasks that are actually mostly thankless. Like, how often do you think, wow, my house looks beautiful. I'm really, like, glad that you did this thing. Like, you have to be cognizant and not take it for granted. Like, we take things for granted all the time. I have to work really, really hard to remind myself, oh, thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing that, et cetera, et cetera. Like, there's a lot of shitty partners out there. And to make this assumption that she is just, like, this singular person who is unable to find a good partner because, a lot of men are great is kind of ridiculous to me. That's all.
No, I'm saying maybe at her age and after her life experience and the place that she's in right now, there could be very well no like available good suitors for her out there. But
how many 20-year-old men are good for shit?
But
you don't even know how old she is.
Okay.
Do you
saying
understand
at
what
her-
you're actually
She's a
fucking saying?
grandma.
What I'm saying is that there are very suitable suitors.
There are very few men who can take care of their fucking self. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Come in contact with them.
That need women to take care of them?
No, it's
No, I'm
completely
saying-
it's
That's
it's
what I'm saying.
complete crap.
I'm saying it's a lot of men out there
Mm-hmm.
who are very capable suitors for many women out there, and it's times that either one, they met each other but they weren't ready to be together. A lot of that times happens where it's the right person but it's the wrong time, and
It's a
so
lot of speculation to make these assumptions.
Yeah,
about
but this
person,
is
right?
not what we're talking
not
about. This is
making an
not
assumption. I'm saying these are possibilities. Making an assumption would be like this.
anything is a possibility at this point.
Why
She
bring
could-
up the
she-
thought, like-
she- you keep saying that she at her age I could very clearly say she's fucking 21. You don't know that. Anything is possible. What are
Yeah,
you
it doesn't
responding to?
matter what her age is, though.
I'm
What
just-
But he
matters
keeps
is,
bringing up an age thing. At her age, he's basically
I
saying at her
understand.
age.
I understand. He's
no,
bringing
but
up
he's
her
saying
age, but-
no. But you're also bringing it up too. In
I haven't
unison.
brought up her age. I said it doesn't
No,
matter what her age
you're-
is. What
you're-
matters
there's
is what she expects to get out of a relationship.
Okay,
If
but
she's
that's
not
what I'm
getting
saying.
that,
Her-
she's picking the wrong people.
But
Alright.
okay, when you say she's picking the wrong people, when you say that the expectations that she has are okay. Let me form it as a question. When you say that the expectations she has, do you think they're unreasonable expectations for the average man? Are
For
you
some
saying that?
people, they would be unreasonable, but
Okay, no,
for
but
other
for the
people, they're
average
not.
man, for the average man in general,
for
all
the
men
average man,
average.
for the average man. Most of her complaints are not unreasonable.
Okay, so then what she's saying is not unreasonable then.
What she's saying is that she has not found the person that she is most compatible with.
True. This
Okay,
is
but the-
everybody who's single, dog.
but that's
Every single
literally
person who's
everyone
single has not
who
found
is
the person,
single.
unless
The
they're like,
problem,
unless
the
they're like
problem
widowed.
comes from her saying that the reason why she will never be married is because she doesn't want to do any of those things. Well, there's a difference when you're in a
When
relationship.
she says any
No,
of
she
those
says
things,
she doesn't want to be
any-
solely responsible for doing those things. Oh my gosh.
exactly
When-
when she says any of those things, she's referring to the responsibilities that a man has for himself. Everything
Look,
that she said
when
are
you're in a
responsibilities that a
relationship
man
with
would have
somebody-
for himself.
When you're in a relationship with somebody, you're in a relationship of trade-offs.
Exactly, and I understand, and
you have to be willing to compromise with some things. The reason why men tend to
Okay.
live longer on average when they're married is because their wife nags them to get checkups all the time. Men are
okay,
less
the
likely to do
statistics
that.
disagree
without
with
their
you.
wife.
Mad Lad brought that up. The statistics disagree with you on that, but
He literally
even
said
on
the
that,
same statistic, bro. Come on, bro.
So men live longer when they're married. Women live
That's literally what he
less
said.
long when they're married. Right? He's saying the same thing. Right. Now the
Okay.
question as to why
in
is
general,
interesting.
the reason
This idea
yeah,
that
so
like
the
I'm making a
if
lot
you
of
look at the
assumptions
full
why.
thing- Okay.
I like the Andre's like statement here. The woman will nag at him to get all his appointments done, and that's why he's gonna live longer. And she's gonna have all the gray hairs, right, from doing all that nag. So like you even perceive this idea that she's doing all this labor for the man to make sure that he
That's
lives
not-
longer while
that's
treating
not
her life,
labor.
right?
That's not
Oh,
labor.
it's not
When
labor to
you're-
remind someone
when
of
you're
his
telling-
appointments.
When
Then
you're
why can't the
telling
man remember to
somebody
do it by
that they
himself?
need to go do the
When-
appointment. Look,
when-
I have my doctor's appointments. I can set my doctor's appointments, but if I just need to go get a checkup, it's not something that's coming to the forefront of my mind. Now, if I'm feeling bad or I look like I'm feeling bad, to me,
She's saying
I don't feel bad. But
How many times
my
have you
partner-
told your significant other to go to the doctor?
Oh, all the time. Whenever they talk about, I'm not feeling well, you should go to the hospital. And that's the thing that they say to me when I say I'm not feeling well, you should go to the hospital. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to. And then eventually I get so like the way I got COVID twice. I was like, I don't feel like going to the hospital. I need to go back to work. And I
And
just
the-
kept working until eventually I woke up so sick that I couldn't move. And they're like, oh, you're going to the hospital whether you want to or not.
All
In
right,
the
let
past-
me try
That's-
this. All right, let's
That's
ask a
not
question.
taking up
everybody.
that sole responsibility. That's showing that you actually care about the well-being of your partner.
All right, let me ask a question to everyone. At what age did you guys start doing your laundry? Like, just generally
6.
speaking.
10.
18.
I was
18.
6.
6,
Be like 14.
14.
About 10 years old.
But I'd say, for me, definitely 15.
Yeah, I was 19.
Man, y'all
But
said
there's no shame in like getting there later. Like that's not the point. All right, next question. Right now, for those of you with significant others, who does your laundry? Do you do it yourself, or does your significant other do it for you?
I do it myself, but we're in a long distance relationship, so that's fine.
It depends on which one of us.
Okay,
is
so
off
you're saying if you
that,
were okay.
that weekend. If they're off, they'll do it. If I'm off, I'll do it.
Okay. And so you do your significant other's laundry like on a regular basis. Like everyone here is willing to do that.
It's all in the same dirty clothes basket.
Cool. Okay.
I would say we would do it together if we did live together. We usually do that.
Okay. I mean, like, I do mine separate and she does hers separate. Like, it's a complete.
The only time that I actually do anything separate when it comes to the laundry is obviously when I don't know how to wash it. There's some things have different wash cycles, different dry cycles. I don't want to mess something up, mess up the material.
Yeah, and that's why I always do my own laundry, because I don't touch her laundry, because like I run everything the same temperature, the same soap. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually prefer that my significant other and my aunts and grandparents purchase my clothes for me, because I shop horribly. Every time I go find something, it's always the wrong size, but they go do it and it's always perfect.
And she'd probably say, and she'd probably sit back and say to you, learn the preference, learn style, and learn to figure out how to do that shit.
I go to the store. We do it all the time. I go to the store. I'm looking at stuff. I find it and I get it. It's particularly the problem comes when you're going to buy underwear. That's really what the problem comes down to. Is they always seem to know how to buy the perfect underwear. Because every time I buy some, I'm looking at like, okay, go buy the waistband size. And then I buy it, and then it doesn't work. And they go buy it, and it works.
Underwear is like pretty easy. It's as simple as like looking at the underwear she bought you last time and like saving that shit on Amazon so you can buy it again. It's like that, literally. Like we buy the same brand of underwear in the same size every single time. It's gonna fit exactly the same.
It never works because when I go to the store and I'm looking for something, and I'm trying to find the right size, and then sometimes I'll get like my waist is a size 32, so some they were like, well, you need to get
you have to get the right size. If you get the same brand in the right size, it'll fit.
But see,
same brand in the same size. You don't have time
to go to the same store.
I don't want to see it off topic. I had a point here. I had a point.
One thing. Let me add one thing.
Man, okay, I flipped. I'm 100% behind this woman, not 75. I need to figure out how to do that.
Welcome, Top Dolphin. Welcome to the great side.
I was already pretty far on her side, and now Jesus, like you just it's underwear. It's so easy.
I think it's okay for you guys, for people in a relationship, not in terms for it to be 50-50. Or equitable. It should be like in a case where if you're better at something, you can do this. Like if DeAndre Pace's partner is better at shopping for him than he is, it's okay for her to do that. And
everything much cheaper than I do. I hate going shopping.
And I'm pretty sure DeAndre Pace is probably better at something than she is, and he does that for her or whatever. And so
you're making assumptions that you can find equality in this thing, right?
I think that's the problem that Dream has with this, and the problem that we all have with this is that when you're talking about a relationship, you're saying 50-50. That's not how relationships work. They're 100-100.
Yeah,
exactly.
Give an example. For example, I'm not really good with like speaking up for myself when it comes to like restaurants, doing my order wrong. And so Jade is like, yo, you got his order wrong. But I'm really good at writing emails. So she needs to write an email for like one of her professors or somebody where she's asking something. I write that for her. So that's a situation where we compliment for each other. Not necessarily I stick up for myself all the time and she sticks up for herself in the restaurant and she writes all her emails and I write all my emails. No, I help where I'm better than her and she helps where she's better than me. And that's a way to do it.
So what I want to do, hold on. So what I want to do, Sly wants to jump in, so I'm going to give him to do that. I want to.
No, you're fine. You can go. You're fine.
Okay, all right. Then Smooth hasn't had a chance to talk for a while, so I want to hear from Smooth. But I also want to hear from Jade because, like, you saw the video. I don't think we ever heard from you after that. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts. All right, so go ahead, Smooth. Smooth first, then Jade. Smooth, are you there?
Smooth.
Is he
Smooth.
deafened? Does he not hear us?
Criminal.
All right, I guess not. All right, then we'll go to Jade.
So yeah, after watching the video and learning more about her situation, I feel like it sounds like she hasn't met anyone that met her expectations. And I would hope that maybe she could meet someone and be willing to maybe teach them like once about X, Y, and Z if they do need help. And if they need a reminder, she can pull out their notes app in their phone and write step by step by step. And then maybe from then on, that person wouldn't have to return to her every time needing help with X, Y, and Z. She could just say, I wrote it out for you. This is what you need to do and stuff like that. But I would hope that she would be open to doing that. It doesn't seem like she is. And therefore, I feel like
she is.
Okay.
I don't think it should be on women to like have to take care of like teach their man how to like take care of themselves.
Yeah,
like,
and I agree with that.
She's not talking about he has to be able to like do everything around the house, but like, hey, you should be able to set your own doctor appointments. You should be able to like buy your own, wash your own clothes,
your own
and like wash your own dishes.
Yeah.
Just take care of yourself.
No,
Things that men should be able to do when they're single.
In the same way that someone should be able to send their own emails, like there always these
and I would
things
hope by a certain age in that man's life, he has learned how to do it. You know, I'm not saying she should teach him everything, but I'm saying there may be a few things that he doesn't know, and I would hope that she could be open to helping teach the few things at least one time, and then it never has to happen again. You know, I'm not saying everything. A grown man should be able to know how to wash his clothes, know how to cook for himself, because I'm sure not every meal or clothing item was cooked for him, or even more than that. Just for the simple things that he doesn't know, I would hope one time is okay enough, because I don't know if, you know, someone not knowing how to do one thing should be a complete deal breaker for you if this person satisfies you and makes you happy in so many other areas. I think that's one thing that she could possibly.
I would also take it a step further and say everything she complained about, she would probably get into a relationship with a person who can't do those things but is willing to learn, because she said she just wants to be in a relationship where she doesn't have to do those things. Not necessarily, it's the expectation that you have to do this in order to be in the relationship. And the types of things she's talking about are very, very difficult to find out unless you get pretty close to, or if not, live with the person. Like, it's very, very hard to know.
I think if we like give her all the benefit of the doubt, and the most maximum benefit of the doubt situation, she is like the most unlucky woman, or one of them.
I mean,
absolutely not. Dream. What?
We don't even have to go there.
Like, the benefit of the doubt would be assuming, like, the benefit of the doubt, giving someone the benefit of the doubt in this situation is like, yes, there's like this forever present patriarchal system that's in place in our domestic, like,
I don't think we need to give that far.
And she is literally like just meeting dude after dude after dude whose expectation is real shit, and she just hasn't had a chance to find someone who will enter an equal partnership with her. But that's actually a very common problem. It's not uncommon to have this problem. This happens all the time.
There's a cultural expectation.
It doesn't matter.
But what if the things that
there's
are of men in a marriage?
Because there is a cultural expectation about these things, obviously, right? Like, to say that this person is just having trouble finding someone, right? As if that's divorced from any context about the relationships between men and women in Western societies in particular, right?
I don't
like and just like misunderstanding like the physical, like the actual realities of dating and getting to know a person. You are getting a team are getting to know Jade, and Jade is getting to know you, right? Even at this moment, I think you're a fiance, right? Like, you guys are engaged, right?
No,
just dating.
Oh,
okay. You said like
man, Prime, Jesus.
She's your wife, but I haven't been engaged.
Okay, I was a little confused about that. My fault. Okay, but you guys are dating, right? and you're finding out something about each other every day. For instance, earlier today, Jade found out some interesting opinions.
Some crazy. The dream has some crazy shit.
Right?
She knows everything.
She is learning things every day, right? Some things you're gonna love and some things you're gonna hate. But there's no reason I wouldn't blame you, either Jade or you, right? For like let's say you do get married 20 years into the future and then like learning something that blows your mind. How could he or she be like that, think like that, act like that? Because like you're separate people and you're going to surprise each other and maybe you don't even know, right? Like Hatim, like I'm sure you have a very good conception about how you act within certain situations, but there are plenty of situations where like you won't know until you get there, right? Like if when your life is being threatened, you don't know until you're actually there how you're going to react. And just like when you're in a marriage, when you're with that person and you're like constrained legally, right, that you got to stay here, people act different. And so to say that, like, yeah.
Sure.
So my thing with that is, right, if that person hasn't shown you before then that they have these characteristics and have shown consistency to share the household chores, to share those different like things that you would like in a relationship, they're a good partner, not a good dictator, a good partner. If you have not seen those things, if you see like this person, man, they don't clean their car, they don't clean this other thing, like you can start to see trends, like they don't upkeep this or upkeep that. Like there are trends with that.
But Smooth, I disagree with.
They're gonna be scamming them. That's what they're saying.
No.
It's the earnest. No. So look, the earnest is on you as the person that's dating the other individual to ask and find out the things that you need to find out to make
the reason
sure
that's not what we're talking about. She found these things out, and she's like, "I hate this person. I don't want to date them anymore."
Sorry,
okay,
Smooth.
Body language.
I'm
and
sorry.
minute
I'm
details
sorry. You
to figure it
have
out.
for however long you did to find that stuff out. Maybe
Smooth. There's a reason. Smooth. The reason I said what I said is that some of these things, you can have a partner who takes care of themselves in a dating relationship, but once it gets serious, they then have the expectation that women are going to take care of household chores and included in that expectation is the responsibility they have for themselves. Some of these things happen. You can date someone and they do it for themselves, but so you can't always see it clearly.
So is she divorced, like, or is she just dating and failing?
I'm saying that the things that she's
dating and failing, she's dating and finding people that aren't up to her standards and just being like, this shit, and then she's ranting about it. That's it.
And you're talking about her failure.
Unsuccessful, like it's literally the same thing, bro. Like,
but Smooth, your critique was that she didn't see it. Your critique.
If you're dating someone and it does not work out, that is literally a fail. It's failed.
The relationship is a fail, but you're putting the failure on her when it's to do that fail.
Wherever verb.
You're blaming Smooth. You're blaming her though. Smooth. You're clearly blaming her for not seeing it.
The framing of it does matter. You're literally saying it's her fault.
Smooth. You're literally saying she didn't see it coming.
Damn it, the fucking hell.
Smooth. You're saying she didn't. Smooth. You're saying that she didn't see it.
Turn your microphone up a little bit.
Smooth, you're saying that she didn't see it coming, that she should have seen it coming. I'm telling you that some of these things
I didn't say she should have seen it coming. I said she should have done the work. Then
what did you mean when you brought up the example of the car?
No, I said she should have done the work.
But then you say if she does the work and does see it coming and then leaves that relationship, then she's like failure.
Is that false?
No, I didn't say she's a failure for leaving. I said
picking the partner.
Maybe that's not what you meant. That's kind of what you said.
Is leaving, but she's a failure at picking the partner.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay to say that because I would humbly say that I was a failure picking partner.
I 100% agree.
It's actually like just because you really like shit on yourself doesn't mean
it's okay.
I absolutely agree.
Okay.
When we say
it's a bad framing, you don't say that your relationship, like you are a failure in selecting a partner. That's bad.
I absolutely agree with
she
that.
put herself out there and found this person not to your standard and moving on. Because if you say that something's a failure, then success means staying with the shitty person. That's the point.
No, success.
That's not what
sometimes relationships. Listen, sometimes relationships.
And don't call it a failure. Fuck.
Sometimes relationships end, and it's no one's fault. Sometimes people grow apart.
That has nothing to do with the fact that she can't find men that will cook and clean.
So again, you're saying that's a trait that can be seen immediately.
Brags about being a good cook or good at cleaning. They all suck.
Because success or finding
I
someone.
understand smooth. I understand.
Smooth.
These men lack the resources to then pay for someone to do these things. You either have to pay for somebody to do these things, or you have to do them yourself. If these men lack either or, then yes, she needs to leave them. But she clearly.
Okay, but Smooth, I gave you an example and you just didn't accept it. I gave you an example and you didn't accept it.
Slide. Imagine. Look. Right, you find somebody that you like. Everything's all hunky dory. Everything's cool. Right. But then whatever
I'm the woman in this part, right? I'm the woman in this part. I find like I'm the woman and I find a man.
You're a man. You find a woman. We're just gonna be very simple.
Okay.
You find a woman, right? You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, she's cool. Everything's good. But then all of a sudden, you're like, yo, you like, I don't know. Just insert whatever thing that's a red flag for you. You're like, nah, I can't rock with this. I
agree with you. So there's been many situations I've been where I've saw the red flag, but I was like, I'm just gonna ignore this red flag, and I hope they just.
Oh yeah, I think we've all been there. I've done the exact same thing myself.
And I understand, but that's an assumption that you guys are making that is not in this case that she's talking about.
Sure,
it's an assumption that you're making. You're making an assumption that she didn't see that. No, I'm not.
For all you know, she's had like 2 or 3 partners total. She's had like these long-term relationships, and it turned out that they fucking sucked. You have no context for how much dating she's done or how hard it is for her to find a partner. There was just COVID, so it's not like she was able to use Tinder very easily. The whole point here is that she's going through some shit. She ranted about how shitty her partners have been.
You're being very generous.
Why are we not being charitable to her? We're being charitable to all the assholes she's been dating.
Why should we be charitable to either one of them?
Now I have to ask
But you guys are being critical of the men. You guys are criticizing.
No one's saying we have to be charitable. We just have to be realistic.
Men are trash, and so are the men who pick bad women.
The men are not the one that are fault in the situation.
Woman for what she said.
She is the one that said that she couldn't find a man that she believed was grown up. That means that the place that she is looking for men, obviously, they have not matured enough to her standard. So she should move someplace else.
Literally uncharitable.
Wait,
it could just be circumstantial. Jesus.
What if she just
there's no such
in the middle of nowhere?
When you start dating the same type of person over and over again, that means that you are.
I have a question for Dion.
I said the same type of person.
Too much.
It's the same type of
question for DeAndre.
When you start dating the same type of person over and over again, that means that you have a trait about yourself that you need to correct, because otherwise you're going to continue to date the same type of person over and over again, and you will continue to be miserable because you have not corrected that trait in yourself. That's not
saying it's her fault. She isn't willing to do X, Y, or Z for these fucking men.
It has everything to do with a person's inner reflection and self-preference choices. It has nothing to do with charity. It has everything to do with the fact that
I'm saying you're being uncharitable to her. You're literally saying that she has a character flaw, and that's why she can't find someone else to date.
Flaw. She does, because she
doesn't have a character flaw.
She just said that she couldn't find the person that she wants.
You're assuming that's her problem and not the man.
It is her problem.
That's the fucking problem.
She wants to find a man. She wants to find a man.
She wants to find a man.
So if she can't find a man, it's not the man's fault. It's not the man's fault that she can't find a man. It's her fault she can't find a man. If she wants a man, there's no
man. She wants the plants. She just says at the end.
She just said in the video that the reason why she's going to be single is because she can't find a man that meets her standard.
These men,
Yeah,
these assholes.
you're misunderstanding.
It is her fault that she has not found the man that she wants.
Sly, give it a try.
Okay, so here's an example. This question is for DeAndre, but I'm repeating it because Smooth didn't hear it the first time. I don't know. He needs to clear his ears out or something. But
all right.
I'm repeating the question, and this is what I said. There are certain people who get into relationships where you have a man who displays that he is capable of taking care of himself, cleaning, cooking, all these things while you're dating. Even when you're in a committed sort of like relationship, they may even show that. But then when something like, let's say a bigger commitment, like a ring, like marriage happens, then all of a sudden there are these expectations that a man could have, that the things that he used to do for himself, now he wants to delegate. And now that, and in understanding that, he's saying that, oh, now you have to do this because I'm gonna bring this extra thing that I'm gonna do here. So now that there's these parts that I used to take care of myself, I think I'm gonna go ahead and delegate these because you stay home, for example. We can imagine a world where relationships do work out like that. That is not so far to imagine. So when you say to me that she should have picked better men, she should have made better choices, she should have been able to see, like I'm asking you, do you not see that correlation that this could happen where you don't see any of wait.
Did you miss the part earlier where I said that relationships are about trade-offs?
Let me state the question. I'm saying, do you not see that there is a possibility where the things that she is complaining about, she would not be able to see until a relationship engages in or gets to a place that it's maybe what you would consider most committed, like marriage or something like that?
Absolutely.
Or living together.
I would not agree with that because
so you don't think it's possible?
Yes, it's 100% possible. There's a whole thing. People talk about dating. What they forget about is that when you get ready to get married, there's something called courtship. That's where you wind up to find out all of those little kinks and stuff to figure out whether or not this is the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with.
Okay.
And
so during
courtship,
he can't lie to you. He can't lie to you.
That's why you should.
Here's the thing: you don't listen to what they say. You listen. And you react to what they should. You react to what they
can't do.
If I can finish my word.
Why does anyone get divorced? Right? They went through courtship, and they dated. They had
the majority of divorces are financial.
No, not
financial.
What?
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Look up the divorce date.
Even that's the case, right? Then it's not a.
People
didn't understand that finances weren't a thing before they got married.
No, it's not that finances are a thing. They became a problem. They became a hardship.
Yes, I know exactly. Yes.
Imagine not identifying hardships and how you deal with hardships during courtship.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, it's another hardship.
Those aren't equivalent, though.
You're gonna lose money. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
The whole point is during courtship, you're implying that during courtship you can identify all the different things that are going on.
There's
a surprise. That doesn't count.
Yeah, during courtship, your finances are not joint.
I don't want to fight on this because it's a dumb fight, right? But all right, let's say that's the case. Let's say that it's all financial, and then financial is somehow different from any other type of hardship, right? And that's some separate thing, right? That looks as if in its own universe, and you can't have it expected that might be an issue. Okay, right? Then the rest of those marriages, those rest of the marriages, right?
Are you okay?
I dropped my water bottle.
Damn.
The rest of those marriages are failing for other reasons, right? Failing for differences in behavior, right? Failing for differences in expectations, failing for people changing. How is it that anyone ever, other than financial reasons, how does anyone ever get divorced, right? Shouldn't have figured it out previously, right?
I do think.
Yes, you figured these things out over a period of time when you're examining what people show you. When I do relationships, I don't listen to what people tell me. I watch what they do. And if what they do shows me that they do not meet my standard, I move on.
You're
You know-
undermining your own point, though. You're implying that like the courtship is supposed to be
What have I-
all-encompassing, cover everything.
What have
And
I
you're saying-
undermined in my point?
Just Prime's
What have I
point.
undermined in my point?
Do you
Wait,
think,
wait, let
I don't
me-
think
let
there's
me-
a lot of divorces happen because a lot of marriages happen for love, and I think love is not enough for marriage. And so the people that get married only for love are actually not compatible outside of just loving each other. And so
Because they didn't know each other long enough. They didn't have a
Whatever, like
courtship
that, you're trying to
period.
create, like, you're creating
Oh,
like this
you're-
like
you
mechanic
can-
where like you can definitely figure out where
They
all the
didn't know each
landmines
other
are going
long
to be in
enough?
your relationship, and then you're also saying
No,
that
Matt,
I can't
okay,
anticipate
let me-
hardship, which is the baseline, the most important thing to
Okay.
figure out if a marriage is going to be successful.
Let me
The
dial
thing
this
is-
back. Let me
let's do very accurate claims. I think this is a very accurate claim. The more you dig into a person, and if you really did all your due diligence in terms of finding out how a person is, who the person is, as much as possible, the less likely that you are to divorce this person. The more likely you are going to be compatible with this person when you do consent to
but
be.
it's an impossible. It is an impossible.
No. That's
Did
what
you
I'm.
miss
That's
something?
why I
How is
said-
that impossible?
Of course, it's
How is that impossible? The
Nothing-
longer it takes for you to get married,
I'm asking if it's impossible.
nothing
I'm not
is
saying-
impossible. Nothing
no,
is
it's not
great.
impossible.
So then,
Take
even
your- take
if
your
you
time.
do your due diligence, so then you've already admitted it. You're already giving the game away. Even if you do your due diligence, it's still possible.
Which is
that-
why I said she's not.
Yeah, don't rush into a relationship
Well,
expecting
she's not
a
There's a
doing
limit
that.
to personal
Expecting a
She's not
result.
responsibility.
doing that.
Fuck.
That's what she's doing then, and that's the case
Why
for
I
this
said she's
particular
not
woman.
lucky.
Great, then she's
When you
doing that.
What,
Unlucky.
no.
Then this
When
is
you say
success.
You,
she's
you have
when you
in,
say
in
she's
her video
unlucky,
clip, you
then-
gain no data for how long
Yo,
long it takes
You
her.
have data though.
to-
Women live shorter lives when they're married. That's an actual data point. Okay. So
Oh,
the point
that-
is,
that-
women
I
are
think-
living
I think
he
shorter
wanted
lives when
you
they're
to-
married.
wait.
Mad Lad, I
it
think
has
he wanted
nothing
you
to
to
do
send
with
it to
this.
him.
Let
I
me-
think he wanted you
Hey,
to send
real
it
quick,
to him.
real quick, y'all.
That
There's
didn't-
still wrong with
Let's
it.
walk this.
post it in the group chat.
Oh, okay.
Let's walk this back. Let's walk this back because this woman is clearly not married, right? So let's put that to the side. We're just talking about being able to date someone that is good. We're talking about dating someone that is good for you.
Okay.
You should get to know somebody enough to know that if dating that person is good for you, if they're
Okay.
going to meet your standards. I don't think that's unreasonable to have somebody in dating. We're talking about just the act of dating, just boyfriend, girlfriend. We're not talking about being married. We're talking about just boyfriend, girlfriend. And you're like,
Okay.
yo, this person don't clean up after themselves. So they're gonna expect me when I'm married to clean up after them. Okay, cool. You find that out and you leave. Okay. And then you found that out like multiple times. Like, yo, these men are not up to par. Right? You found out these men, or you know what I'm saying? Like, we're mostly men here. So you find out these women are not up to par, right? So you're like, you know what? Hey, you either have to self-evaluate and go, yo, I need to date other people, or you need to go, hey, maybe it's me. Maybe I just need to settle that. Like you're only left with two options there. But you know what I'm saying?
Like,
So
you
if
can literally-
if you end up in the boat where you're like, yo, you know what? I'm not gonna date this person, right? But you can't then turn around and blame men or women, whoever you're dating, for your inadequacy to figure them out.
Option that she has the inadequacy.
No, I said no, I didn't. Who said who has the inadequacy?
You're
All I said was
assuming.
she dates bad people.
Okay, and
You're
whose
not
fault
even
is
know
that?
what
she's
No,
dating.
and whose fault is
Bro,
whose
you
fault
can-
is that,
Hey,
Smooth?
look. Interchange out being clean with anything else that
Okay,
you
but whose
consider-
fault is
you
that?
consider something that's not good. Like, oh, this
For all
person
you know,
does drugs.
she's
Where
found
are you
people
laying
who
the
are
fault
good on
there?
paper,
No,
and
no,
they
no, no,
fucking
where-
suck.
if we change the example to, yo, this
Whose
person
door
does
are you
drugs.
laying that full
No,
time?
no. So listen, if we change the example to this person does drugs, if you were not around, if you did not do the homework to know, yo, my boyfriend or girlfriend is a coke addict, that's your problem. You
Bro,
did
she's
not
breaking
do
up with
your
the men.
homework.
Okay,
And then you're
thank
saying it's
you.
her
I
fault for
disagree
dating
with
shitty
you,
women.
and you're
It's
wrong,
your
but thank
fault
you.
for dating
You have to
the
do your
cokehead.
homework. You have to go to
Jesus
every
Christ.
single one of her ex
Matt,
partners and ask like if she cleaned the house or not. And if they
You
don't
know-
have any long term ex partners, then you have to like go
Like,
ask their
I
mom.
dated
Well,
my
did they pick
significant
up after
other-
themselves when they were at home? You know, like
I dated my
and
significant
you
other
need
for
to
10 years,
interview.
and I
you
still
need-
was
you need to
surprised.
interview all
It
the
happens.
exes. All the exes that man had. You got to interview all of them.
Jade,
Every
Jade,
single one.
Jade, what was the longest relationship you've ever had? We can't hear.
You're
her.
muted.
The current one I'm in, so probably 2.5 years.
Okay. The one before that then.
1 year. It was
year.
one.
Okay, all right. During that time, right? Like, were you learning things about this individual that maybe surprised you in a negative fashion? I can't hear her again. I don't know why.
Is there like
What?
a noise?
I would learn things about him later on. Yes.
Okay, all right. And do you think that there might have been things you learned about him that were disqualifying, right? Do you think it could have been a possibility that you might have not found out about these things before, and then learned about them later, and still have invested an enormous amount of time in this person? Right, so basically, is this the exact same person? But could there be a possibility that they could have that whatever was wrong with them, you might not have known until later?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. And you wouldn't say that would be your fault for not knowing. It's just that these things didn't appear.
Because sometimes people hide stuff until later on because they don't, people don't show all their cards in the beginning. So it could be possible. And then there are things where I saw a sign maybe in the beginning and I was hoping that something would change, and then
Yes.
nothing ever
That
happened.
too.
And I was just waiting there to change, and it never changed.
That's a really good point, Jade.
That's another point.
That's another thing that we haven't even been considering here. That you can say a thing that like, well, it's a yellow flag, maybe an orange flag, right? But like, it's a possibility this person could change, right? Like, I'm talking to them, maybe they're even responding to this, right? And they're doing some work, but in the end, they fail at this. And then after maybe a year, 2, 3 years of time you put into them, you realize, I thought they would change, looked like they were trying to change, but after all this time, I can see that's not actually going to happen. Yeah. And then you break up with them. So like, relationships are dynamic, they are hard, they are complex, and people stay together for all kinds of reasons, and they break up for all kinds of reasons. And a lot of those things are, some of them are perceivable, but for a lot of them aren't, right?
Yeah, and even the addict example that Smooth brought up, it could be someone who, yes, when you met him, he was a recovering addict in AA, and you believe, hey, listen, okay, he's going to AA, like he's trying to improve his life. And he's doing well for years. And then he has a withdrawal of some kind. And then you're like, oh, fuck. And then he like completely gets into like some sort of like addiction status that you never initially signed up for. And you would then say that it's that person's fault. Hey, he was an addict initially.
You took an inherent risk.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying taking increased risk leads to increased rates of failure. And one thing that I did going intentionally into the relationship with Jade was I sat down on the very first day that I asked Jade to be exclusive. This was before I asked her to be my girlfriend. And we talked for hours and hours about our values and making sure that we align and like our character flaws or what do we want in somebody. We made sure that we were the right pick for each other. And there were some things that wasn't up to the maximum par that I wanted in a person. But then I was like, okay, this is not a deal breaker for me. And also said that she could always become better. And if it turned out that she didn't become better in this case, I would just have to take that L and be like, I took this risk and this is the L I have to take that I knew I was taking with this risk. It's just,
and you don't think that she did that, and you don't think that she could have possibly done that, and she's been.
We don't have enough information to make that determination.
And if she did take a risk,
I'm saying she could have done that, and she probably did do that. But the issue is that's her L to take.
Okay,
but you're not
just saying.
If you go to the casino,
God damn it,
and you put 50 on red, and it turns up black, whose fault is that when you lose $50?
She's not like.
No, relationship is essentially gambling. Like it is.
Yes, it is. It is a gamble. You take on.
It is.
Like this is like
Sorry,
Whether they're
no, it's a fucking
beneficial
shit
or
analogy
negative gambling.
because you don't have to go to a casino.
You don't have to.
Like you don't actually have to go to a casino. Like there's no requirement. However,
You don't have
in our
to date
society,
somebody. There's no requirement that you have to date
she doesn't
somebody.
want to date anyone. She wants the fucking plants, and then you guys are giving her shit for
But
wanting the
she's
plants, and
saying
saying
that
that
the
she
person
sucks
that
because she
the
wants the
reason
fucking
why she
plants.
doesn't want to date is because she couldn't
It's
find the
fucking
person that met her standard.
No.
That
No,
is
no.
that is
No,
her.
like you are hell
trouble.
bent on making her have some sort of
Bro,
fundamental flaw.
bro, so listen.
She
And that's
has a
not-
fundamental flaw because she
Okay,
she
hold on,
obviously
hold on.
cannot
I wanna
find
hear
the person
Wait,
she
there's
wants.
something.
I want to hear from Madeline, then Top Dolphin.
All right. So, going to a casino and losing $50 is not only a not requirement, it's something that people do for like fun. People go to the casino casually and risk money. When people are looking for life partners, sometimes I would almost call it a need even. You need to find a partner or figure out what you're going to do with the rest of your life. And because that's like some sort of need there, it's not fair to say that it's her fault for playing this fucking game that we're all obligated to fucking play. It seems ridiculous to me. They're going to say, oh, hey, she's choosing to fucking try these relationships out and she's got all these L's and all these failures and it's all on her, when in reality, like, she met people.
It is.
She met people and they weren't compatible with her. And she said, all right, well, fuck this, I'm out. There's no failure there when you reject someone that you don't fucking want after you've evaluated them. But for some fucking reason,
finding the right
during
person.
the courtship phase, if you decide to end it while you're doing your fact finding,
Bro.
you're deciding that's a failure. And I don't understand why the fuck we have to do that. because
So
when
to
you
answer,
give up, you
your
fail.
point, real quick, to answer hold on,
No.
to answer him. No,
it's not
to
a failure
answer
because
Mad
you got
Lad-
rid of
to
a
answer
fucking person that you don't want to be with.
Mad lad. After something happens more than once, you have to then ask yourself, is this me or is this them?
The same thing happened. The same thing. It's different
He said
relationships.
she's experienced this multiple times.
She's
I don't
experienced
know how
different men
many.
being not
She
adults
said
different
I
ways.
mean, she has a trait about her that is attracting these people.
No,
Wait,
because
There
they're
it
not the
is.
same fucking
There it
person.
is.
He's not dating the
No,
exact
there it
identical
is.
rubber stamp fuck
DeAndre,
every
Yep.
single
Now
fucking
she's
time.
She's the same person.
Now
She's
she
the
has a
same type of person.
Now she has a trait apparently.
not
Now it's a
necessarily-
trait.
There's something
Like,
about
you're just
her
fucking trying to blame this person
that
who
is
made a.
making her pick these
It's
type of
not
people.
a trait about
DeAndre, you've
her.
actually
It's
lost
her
the
plot.
ability to
Now
pick.
apparently it's a trait.
That, I mean, that is a trait
Jesus.
about
It's
her.
her
but-
ability to pick. It's not necessarily.
It's not
a
her
trait
ability to
about-
pick. She is dating people that are
She-
interesting to her, and they turn out to suck, and then she's moving on, and she's frustrated by it.
Because
There's no reason
she
to
made
vilify
bad
her for that. It's
choices.
bullshit.
No, wait, hold
I
on.
don't think-
No,
I
okay,
don't-
so
I
my
don't think-
issue
okay.
is.
Hold
Oh,
on.
go ahead, Jade.
I was gonna say I don't think we have to necessarily vilify her and say that she has a character flaw, but maybe she could just make a choice to, like I suggested earlier, just a choice to teach people a few things once or twice. Right?
It sounds
Know
like
for a
she's
fact that
willing
she didn't
to.
try.
And she sounds like she's willing to try again.
Yeah, and I think that she would try if given that opportunity. But I'm not saying that we have to vilify her. I'm saying she should be open to that. And it seems
Maybe she is.
okay. Well,
You know.
then I don't know what the problem is if she.
The problem is here that like the specific thing she's against that is causing her to want to be single. The specific thing is the type of man who says that she has to do the things that she was complaining about, that she has to clean and take on all these responsibilities that a man would normally be expected to do for himself.
Oh God.
That's why.
Date a
mean,
non-traditional man.
Exactly.
Done.
Pick
Right,
somebody.
what if she
else.
lives in
Pick the
fucking
Steve
middle of
Urkel instead of
nowhere
the
in
Drake.
Oklahoma, dog, and there are no non-traditional
hold on.
men?
Just
Right?
like
Or
there
maybe
are-
there's
This is
only
not
a few,
this is
right?
not a traditional,
Like, hold on.
non-traditional thing,
wait,
by the way.
Top
and
Dolphin.
what I was gonna say is so we don't necessarily have to say that like because she went through the process she failed, right? One of the biggest things that I want to bring up is like there's no distinction between someone who makes all the right decisions in choosing a partner and it just doesn't work out, and someone who makes all of the wrong decisions here based on her story. You guys are treating her like, oh, she made all the wrong decisions, but she could have made all the right decisions and come to the exact same place where she's at now. you guys keep like blaming her for like all of these decisions that she made. She doesn't even necessarily blame all of the men that she's been with in the past. She's not overly hateful of them or anything. She just says, hey, they didn't measure up to what I want, and I have like standards for a man to just be an adult. And it seems like the men that I come in and become in contact with.
What's really crazy here?
Maybe it's because of wait. Maybe it's because the location she lives in, the type of job she has, the industry she works in. Maybe it's the type of the income bracket she's in. There could be a lot of different things that contributes to the type of people who she's generally exposed to and why they don't meet the traditional standard. And maybe it's going to be maybe for her, it's going to be a little bit harder to find someone. And she's not necessarily, she's like, hey, I just kind of want to be okay being single. And I'm gonna get some plans. And if I find a man who can be an adult and like wash his underwear and buy his underwear and wash his clothes, then I'll marry him. But I haven't found that yet. So for right now, I'm focused on being single because I'm happy.
What's really crazy? It's like hold on, and this idea of like, oh, just find a non-traditional man and that fucking solves it. No, it actually doesn't. It's like saying, well, if you find a progressive, right, a progressive man, a leftist progressive man, then that woman will never have to worry about misogyny in her relationship. It simply won't happen, because progressive men aren't misogynist. Like they fight against misogyny, they march against misogyny, they vote against misogyny. Well, that means that like there can't be any progressive misogynist men. But obviously that's the case. Obviously, like in leftist spaces, there are people who are misogynist. Even there are guys who call themselves feminists, right? And then who end up being complete fucking assholes to women. Ask women in leftist spaces; they will tell you this, right? These are literally the type of guys you're asking her to find, right? It's like, hey, well, just look for a non-traditional man. Well, these are the non-traditional men, and they can be assholes too. It doesn't matter.
Sure, but there is. I think. Let's say that
non-traditional. It's just
like what's his name? What do you say? The guy that just left. Anyways, I forgot his name.
Let me add Top Dolphin. Yeah, my streamer is being stupid.
Top Dolphin was talking about how it's a lot of she could do all the right things and come to the same conclusion, and I agree. But I think in terms of like her mentality, it could be better. I do think her mentality could be better. So even given all this, and we're not putting any blame to her in terms of the outcome that she has, I do think moving forward, she has to stay positive and optimistic, right?
We spent an hour debating whether we should vilify her or not. I can't imagine someone in an environment where like that would be like, no
one was vilifying her.
You literally said that it's a trait.
I'm sorry, that's vilifying. But anyway, the point is we spent a whole hour talking about whether it's her fault or not. I can't imagine someone having a positive headspace when they're constantly being critiqued for not accepting shitty men. Like, that's ridiculous to me.
Nobody said she had to accept them, bro.
Hold on. Madeline is speaking from an absolutist point of view when it's not absolutist at all.
Because absolute is about being in a consistently shitty position.
You are being completely irrational.
It's impossible for somebody to stay positive when they're being critiqued. When you can be critiqued and hold positive outcomes.
You can be critiqued and be given like constructive advice, or you could be getting all the critique from this, what we just did for the last hour. Probably not very helpful at all.
I thank you for saying that, because I have a question for you. What is your productive criticism for her then?
I don't have a productive criticism for her. She can just keep doing whatever the fuck she wants.
She did everything. Listen, she did everything.
Fuck it.
Critique her.
1,000% behind what the fuck she posted. She's literally ranting about her problems.
Perfect.
And she's letting it out. Like, it's fine.
Oh, nothing's wrong with her at all.
I have no evidence to prove that there's something wrong with her.
In this clip, no.
So your claim is
you're looking for things that are wrong with her. I'm not looking for anything that's wrong with her. I think she's fine as far as I can tell.
No one was looking for things that were wrong with her. We were saying that
sounds like you all were looking for things that are wrong with her.
It's likely made poor decisions when it comes to picking men.
Yeah, because you're literally looking for ways to critique her and say it's not men's fault. That's what's going on. What you're dying on isn't she sucks. All men can't possibly be bad.
Mad lad, hold on.
Hold on. I got just one quick thing, then I go to you, Smooth. Just one quick thing.
Let's change the problem.
I think
change the problem.
It doesn't matter.
If she went on and was like, "Yo, don't
stop.
I'm broke all the time." If her problem was I'm broke all the time, right?
So we're gonna change the problem completely so that I have a different response.
No. It comes down to a simple thing of just pure accountability. If you make decisions,
it's not the same.
If you make decisions to spend all your money, you're gonna end up with outcomes that are that way.
It's not the same thing. You're literally I'm gonna create this perfect construct so I can criticize this person.
And you brought
bam. If she decides to date those types of men, because look, if you end up,
she decides to date those types of men. You don't know what type of men she's dating,
bro. Whatever type of men she's dating does not clean.
Okay,
men that she do not do the things that she wants.
No.
That's a problem.
No. Let's clarify. No, Smooth, you're wrong about that.
Do not clean. They are not adults.
You don't actually know the
Smooth, you're wrong about that.
Literally, what's going on? This woman has gone on the internet, ranted about her personal life, said this stuff sucks, and you're looking for reasons to make her be accountable for her actions without having any context to know where the accountability actually lies.
Smooth, you're wrong about that.
You are choosing. I have all sorts of advice for all you motherfuckers here. I have plenty. My advice for you, Smooth, is not to assume that there's a problem with that woman just because she's ranting about how hard her dating life is.
Madeline, I never said.
Bro, man, rappers can make songs called "Hoes Ain't Loyal."
Yes, her decisions. That's not her. It's just her decisions. You're still putting this responsibility on her when it's not her fucking fault.
Responsibility is
she's allowed to rant about her shitty relationship.
No, you're
having permission to fuck with her.
Smooth. The people
that she let's say it's not even her, and let's say it's not even her decisions, because as Top Dolphin was saying, if she was making all the right decisions, it is a possible, although very unlikely, that she can come to the same conclusion. The issue.
How do you even know how likely or unlikely it is?
Less likely. We'll say.
How do you know that? You're literally making a random assumption and hoping that I give ground on this when I'm literally pointing out to statistics that prove that women who are married live shorter lives.
Wait a second. You're not listening. Hold on. I got
shorter lives.
You're not listening. Dream. You're not listening.
Dream. I don't want to cut you off, but the fact is that your statistics don't prove anything because I just went over them. Your statistics are comparing single women to single men. It doesn't say anything about women that are never married, that have never dated. It just says that single women are happier than single men. So your statistics are 100% not applicable in this circumstances, because it says nothing about single women in comparison to married women.
So you're saying he brought up married women and gave you an article that says nothing about married women?
Yes, it says nothing about married women. I just read the entire article.
Okay, then Mad Lad fucked up. Like what? Like at that point, he fucked up.
And my thing is this, Mad Lad. We say nothing about her. We can in the best possible case scenario for this woman, we can say nothing about her decisions because she could have made all the right decisions and still, let's say, came to the same conclusion. I think it's pretty logical to say that if you're worse at making good decisions, that it is likelier for you to come to the same bad conclusion, even if you made all the right decisions and still came to that same bad conclusion. It's pretty logical to say this. Okay, so I don't think you have any contention when it comes to that. And the second point is when it comes to her mentality, I think that is a valid critique to have, right? So I think it's preferable for anybody that's out there in the dating world to stay positive and stay optimistic and hopeful that they will find their person. And if they're doing all the right things and have that right mentality, then you will find that person eventually. I do believe this, or at least you're likelier to find this, whatever. In the case, I do believe that if you're pessimistic about the dating world, then you're kind of like manifestation of that happening. You're bringing that energy to you, right? If you're pessimistic about it, you're not optimistic.
On some level, attitude does contribute to like what you're getting out of whatever activity you're participating in, right? I understand that. However, this woman venting her frustrations is a moment, a snapshot in time where she's saying, I've had these experiences and this fucking sucks. and then we are literally projecting what her day-to-day routine is based on this 3-minute clip with limited evidence. And my whole point is like, you can't do that. We have no idea what her relationship status is, and like I'm sorry, hold on, nope. My whole point here is that we can't project what kind of dating life she's had past what she's represented, and there's nothing wrong with what she said. I don't want to date a shitty partner who's not going to treat me like an equal is basically the paraphrase of that video, and that's fine. Also, I'm looking at this article that I linked, and there's literally this individual who is saying, so Paul Dolan, a professor of behavioral science at the London School of Economics, said unmarried and childless women are also likely to outlive their married child-rearing counterparts and are healthier than them. They literally say it at the top of the article, and then I'm going to pull up some actual hard numbers for you. That's fine. I'm very happy to do that.
Click on the link that says read the original article on The Independent, copyright 2019. That's where your actual
I'm actually going to go deeper than that. Okay. I'm going to actually try to find the initial stuff.
Okay, but that's
but women still live longer even in both scenarios. So
either way, fine.
Yeah, we don't have to look.
They still outlive men.
We've went way over time on this, right? And I want to respect everyone. I told you guys we were going over time because I knew what this would turn into. But to my audience, we're going to continue on to the open walk-on panel right after this. Apparently, you all have things to say about this, right? This was fucking explosive. And I don't think this is going to be the last time we talk about this one. Even this woman in particular. I got plans in the works, right? I got plans in the works. Because I did... Like, I thought this would be fun. This is why I made the second topic. Because I was... the thing we talked about age consent. That was not as explosive as this one. That was, so I don't think it's the last time we're gonna bring this situation up. I got some plans, right? Okay. But to my audience, we are gonna continue on to our walk-on panel. Before we do that, consider hitting the follow button. If you haven't done so yet, if you're new to this channel, like we've been seeing, right? Or you don't like what you've been seeing and we annoy the shit out of you, hit the follow button any which way. We'd love to have you. !social and chat for my social media. We have Twitter where we let you know what's going on. Discord where we do everything, including the open walk-on panel that's happening right after this. So join in the Discord. We'd love to have you. TikTok is where we post funny videos from the show. And YouTube is where you find the VODs. Check out our VODs. Like, comment, subscribe, consider becoming a YouTube member by hitting that join button. If you appreciate getting this content 7 nights a week. Okay. I'm going to give an outro to all these people. So I'm... Oh boy. This has been a real one. Thank you all for coming here. Hopefully they'll come back. Sly. Sly.
Yeah.
You're gonna... what are your thoughts? Like,
I'm gonna try and keep it short. I'm just gonna say that for Smooth, Dream, and DeAndre, they watched 1 minute and only listened to 1 minute of a 3-minute video. At some point, they stopped listening to maybe it's just a woman complaining. They just can't handle listening to a woman complain or something. But they tuned out after 1 minute because if you listen into 1 minute, you make the conclusions that they made. You make conclusions saying, "Oh, she's complaining that men can't clean, and that she doesn't want to clean for men." Those are the conclusions you make if you only listen in 1 minute. If you listen to the whole thing, the idea is that she wants an equal partner who can take care of himself, be responsible for himself. And yes, I understand that these 3 people don't understand the difference, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Everyone's allowed to be wrong on the panel. All right. Thank you for giving me the time.
We'll come to Dream. We'll come to you last, right? So next we're gonna go to DeAndre. DeAndre, thank you for coming through, man. Like, this has been fun. I wasn't sure you'd be into this topic, as I know you guys.
Well, it's a topic that's that I really have to beg myself to be interested in, because it's not something that you hear every day, but it was interesting and it was fun.
You put up a great fight though. So,
well, I mean, it was fun, but first of all, thank you for having me on your show. I enjoy coming on. It's always fun. It's always a blast. And despite the fact that we yell at each other, I love the respect that we give each other here on the panel. Uh, in response to Sly, no, I did not watch 1 minute. I've actually been listening to her over and over again for the past 3 hours, just so I could try to figure out what the heck is going on with her in this issue. But and secondly, I'm never wrong. So I'll just put it that way. I'm never wrong, so I'm always right. Um, but I want to thank you all for the earnest debate, even on such a light topic. And I'm actually happy that you chose these topics, Prime, because we got a lot of shitty stuff happening in the news every day, and it's always good to have a fun, lighthearted topic to talk about.
Thank you so much.
Follow me on Story of America on Spotify and everywhere else that you can find a Story of America with Pace and Williams. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Seriously. We definitely enjoy having you. You're a great addition. We hope to have you back many times in the future. We'll go to Smooth. Smooth, thank you also for coming through, right? Smooth, energetic
Anytime.
Smooth. Oh, this is great. This is the best Smooth. This is this is awakened Smooth, man. Like, I had a really good time hearing from you, hearing your passion on all these subjects. So thank you, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. I'm trying to get sleep out here these days, you know what I'm saying? And I'm venting all my frustration from work. But I will want to say to Sly, we need to uninstall your patch. Like, we need to uninstall you from the panel. We just need to uninstall. Okay, we need to get him up out of here. Okay, we need to uninstall the Sly patch because it's not working. It's not good. Because clearly he did not understand that. All I was trying to say was that she just needs to make better decisions going forward. That's it. That's all you can do. It's the only thing you can do. It's the only thing you can do in dating. That's the only thing you can do is hopefully make a better decision going forward. That's it. That's all. Check me out on Homeroom with Smooth. We got a interview of this guy, well, all the way over that guy, PrimeCayes on there. And yeah, check me out. We out. I'm out. I'm done.
Okay. That was how I end things, right? Just kind of awkwardly at the end. All right, that's how I do things. All right, next we have freaking Madeline. Holy crap, this has been an amazing surprise. And Madeline, as always, he brings the fire, right? This is why, like, I would hit him up all the time with invites, because this man brings the fire. So thank you, Madeline. He has really no problem taking on the whole panel. A man after my own heart, right? Just like take on fucking everyone. You're all fucking wrong. This is why. So thank you, Madeline, for coming through.
Yeah, glad to show up. It was kind of spontaneous and random. I mean, I guess like my final thoughts, like, I don't know. I'm just imagining this person ranting about how shitty her dating life is, and then other people treating it like a lighthearted topic to explore, or someone else saying, oh, well, she can make better decisions without having any fucking context as to what has happened in any of her relationships. And he's talking about uninstalling the Sly patch when he's literally making assumptions, and then it's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna. So this is where you can find me. I'm gonna post my link tree. I've got some stuff, right? I do the weekly stand-up that's on Sundays. There's 4 of us. We talk about workers' rights and unions and game development. The show is co-hosted by Jessica Gonzalez, who ran the strikes at Activision Blizzard when that was a thing. Fun new developments actually happened this week. So CDWA, the workers' rights, the workers' union for video games, is actually negotiated with Microsoft and was able to get Microsoft to pre-accept a union in the game development world, which is like kind of a big deal. It's kind of crazy. We're gonna be talking about that on Sunday, so join us for that. I've got my own Twitch. I haven't been streaming a lot lately. I've just been doing a lot of crazy shit. All right, that's a lie. I like Top Dolphin. I did discover League of Legends, and I may have been playing that with like some friends that also stream, and they're really cool. But I've also been doing some crazy shit, I promise. I'll be dropping some like really toxic content on the internet at some point too. Healthily toxic. We're gonna get work done things. I have a YouTube. I have a Twitter there. Oh, and then I published a chess book. You guys should buy that. chess book because I teach chess professionally and I know things. In fact, actually, one of my students set a record. I think in my book, at least, he gained like 500 rating points in like a year, which is kind of insane. He's like national master, which is like just fucking,
Crazy.
just like he's like sweeping the floor with like international masters and like FIDE masters, which is like kind of awesome. So if you want chess lessons, you can come my way too.
Okay.
Thanks for having me, Prime. It's been a while. I'll try to do this more often.
Absolutely. Everyone, please go buy his book. And like, yeah, he's teaching masters as much as he does, right? He's got those level of skills, right? So since he's teaching masters, he's a master.
Well,
that's how that works, right? Transfer property there.
I taught someone who became a master. Let's be clear.
Exactly. Yeah, you
Very fast.
became a master. Exactly. So that was your skills transferring to him. He is a master at chess. You want to be hitting him up. All right. Let's go to my man, Top Dolphin Adam, who also we haven't seen here in many weeks, right? But man, I don't stop pestering this man because I always love when he's around. So Top Dolphin, thank you for coming through.
No, thanks for having me. I just want to say I'm really frustrated that this panel made me agree with Madeline, because his takes are usually pretty bad, and I don't think I agree with him fully, but I think I was more on his side than everybody else's, so I sided with him. I want to say it's really funny that we all ended up in this debate over basically what was a clickbait title. That's the assumption I came to. She clickbaited it with saying, "I'm never gonna be in a relationship again." She did the intro clip that you put on TikTok so that everybody watched your video saying, "Oh, I'm never gonna do this," and then she explained why she wants to be chill being single. I actually did a little digging into her. She was married, apparently in an abusive marriage, and got out of it. And she's currently like working on herself doing weight loss and stuff. And she's just like, I guess she talks a lot about relationships. And like one of the things is like she just enjoys being single and like people should be okay with that. And she doesn't like the societal pressure that she has to not be single when she can just be single and be okay with it. And I really missed that we didn't. I thought this was gonna go more the line of like whether or not the institution of marriage is more beneficial to like men or women, in which I think I would have fallen on a different like point of view. But like we didn't even get there because we were too busy talking about like women having realistic standards and being shamed for it. Anyways, my name is Top Dolphin. You can find me on Twitter. I never stream, actually. You can find me on Prime Stream whenever I show up. And you can also find me on twitter.com/topdolphin_, where I drop all the base takes and none of them are wrong. But thanks for having me. It was nice to see some faces. Love seeing Madeline. I just put your book in my Amazon cart, so I'll buy it next time I make a purchase. I'll maybe read it. I don't know if I'll read it, but I'll buy it. So I'll support you.
It's a classic. It'll be good. Like until like like even 60 years from now, it'll still help you with your chess. Promise, guaranteedly.
Will it get me out of 600 rating to 800 rating?
It'll at least give you a 100-point boost.
100-point boost. All right. If I don't get a 100-point boost, can I have my money back?
No, but I mean, it should get you a 100-point boost.
Okay.
It's a business, man.
If you don't know the concepts, if you've never experienced these concepts before,
I probably won't read the book anyways. But I'll think about it. If I get back into chess, I'll definitely read it.
Okay. All right. So next we will go to our friend Dream. Hatim, it goes like it usually does, right? You and I like going at it pretty hard. But like that's why I love having Dream, because he doesn't mind putting up a fight. He doesn't mind like disagreeing with everyone, right? And he has different opinions, so we love him, we appreciate him. Thank you, Hatim, for being here. And I love his voice, right? The best thing is his beautiful voice.
Best voice, yeah, that's right. You're right, Dream. Nice.
He said
y'all made me agree with Dream.
He said beautiful things about me. He said like,
oh my God,
I
muted his own.
Wait, we were agreeing and he kept talking.
Oh my God. And I said,
got him.
Okay, good.
Got him.
I give the most logically consistent philosophical point of views, and that's why thank you for having me. I love being here. First off rip, the one thing I want to say for sure is that as an individual, if you want to do something that's morally permissible, but you allow society to change your mind or pressure you doing the opposite, then you have no spine. You're just a weak person. And I think if you want to do something morally permissible, don't listen to society. Like, I cry. I like crying, and I'm okay with crying. And growing up, my mom and aunt said, "Don't cry. Men don't cry." Everybody in my whole life said men don't cry. But I said to them, "How can I stop crying? I'm gonna cry." Even as a kid, I'm just a strong person. And if you listen to society, you're weak. That's it. That's a fact. And don't be weak.
Also
people.
tell you not to
Be
marry
strong.
14-year-old girls.
Didn't say that.
Be strong.
Be
Well, but,
strong
other than-
and marry those 14-year-olds, no matter what anyone says, no matter what the prosecutor
If it's more permissible, yeah, sure. If it's morally permissible.
Holy
boy.
shit.
If it's more, in most cases, it's not. But anyways, my point is, moving on. Seriously, when it comes to the last conversation we had, I think we kind of like talked past each other, even though we agreed on most things. I think if she was a perfect person, did nothing wrong, we agree, right? That at the best, at the critique that she can have, the fair critique that we can have on her when she did nothing wrong, is that her mentality could be better, and even Madeline would agree to that. And if she did choose worse, and if she did choose worse, the critique we can have is that she can pick better. And if she does have a character flaw, the critique we would have on her is to become a better person and reflect on themselves. So if these situations were to happen, these are the kind of like critiques that we would have on her. But we don't know which is which, correct? So that's why, from my perspective, I was speaking on all different possibilities, right? And I wasn't saying either one was the other, but I did have the opinion that, depending on her age, I do think she's on the older side. That's just my opinion. That's what I think. And if you don't believe so, that's fine. It's just my opinion that I do think from her facial features, she looks at the least like in her 30s, right? And it makes sense since like Top Dolphin was talking about she's an ex-divorcee, right? Or is a divorcee.
I can't wait for Jade to talk to you when she's in her 30s and ask, "Hey, what do you think of me in my 30s?" You are fucking up so bad right now. Like, I can't wait. There's so much. Like, it's fine.
What's he talking about?
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
I think Jade would look great and still be a great person. Like I invest in the long term. Anyway, the point is, I think we're just talking about past each other, but we literally agree. If we just had different perspective, and Madeline saying he was talking from the perspective that she did nothing wrong, and I do think that DeAndre Pace and Smooth would agree. If she did nothing wrong, yeah, there's nothing you could do about that, but the mentality could be better. All right, Jade, your turn.
Yes, Jade, thank you. Shout out to the team for including you. I'm really happy that he did. And Jade, thanks for coming through. Now, you experience these things from a distance, watching the team getting shit on. But now that you're a part of it, what do you think?
It's definitely interesting being on the other side of it. You know, I had to force my way in, and Hot Team likes to take the mic and yell a lot and scream his opinion and stuff. So I was forcing my way in, but it was really cool. It was cool to be on this side of it instead of watching you guys. So thank you for having me.
And I'm going to post our Instagram. Please follow us on Instagram if you want to and keep up with our lives.
Absolutely. And Jade, the most important question is, after this, despite all this, would you come back?
I would be willing to come back. Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. I love it. It was a tentative yes, but I'll take it. So thank you so much. Seriously, all of you, for coming through. This has been really fun, real explosive. We went an hour over.
I don't know if I'll come back.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame any of these people. So okay, we are going to continue on to our open welcome panel right after this. Anyone here can join us, but if not, that's okay. They're spending your time, your energy, your knowledge, and your passion, so much your passion. With my community, I know they appreciate just as much as I do. Have a good one. Thank you. Bye.
There you go.